Ooh, the Golden State Warriors are back to 500, a blowout victory at home. I can't remember the last time the Warriors had a blowout victory at home, but I heard the broadcast crew, I think it was Glenn Azubuike, call this a feel-good win. Normally, I'd say so. Final score 120-97. It was a good old-fashioned butt whipping. Two things are going to keep me from calling this a feel-good game. One is Orlando was incredibly shorthanded. We're not a cheerleader show, okay? Like I'm feeling good. The Warriors won. That's a good thing. All right, I'm not complaining about that, but I'm also not going to read too much into beating an Orlando Magic team missing Franz Wagner, missing D'Souza, who ate up the Warriors last time, missing Jalen Suggs, who's arguably their best player, which says a lot considering Paolo Banchero is on their team. And when I say best player, maybe the better way to put it is most important player because of what he does on both sides of the ball. I digress. The second reason is probably the more important reason. What happened to Draymond Green? Did you all see what? Look, clearly the play-by-play crew was not going to touch that. On my Twitter account, I didn't get a chance to post it on my Threads account yet. I posted a clip from, I'm guessing a fan recorded and uploaded this, of an altercation that occurred between Steve Kerr and Draymond Green. This happened in a timeout called early third quarter. The Warriors were trailing at this point 71-66 after the two teams went into the tunnel at halftime, nearly tied. The Warriors had a 1-point lead. That lead is gone immediately to start the third quarter. Orlando takes a lead. But what happened in that third quarter, let me get the context of this correct real fast, is Draymond. Wait, what? So Draymond Green committed a turnover. And Draymond had also scored 4 points to start the second half. So offensively, he was doing okay, except for an ugly turnover. Tyus Jones got a steal. Desmond Bane makes a free throw. Then a possession later, Anthony Black makes a turnaround jump shot. Warriors call a timeout. And then I have no clue what was said. I'm fascinated to hear what Steve Kerr says. I'm almost confident that Draymond Green is not going to talk to the media after a game like this. And it's really sad because earlier in the night, Draymond Green's son, Draymond Jr., I believe the entire arena was singing happy birthday to Dre Jr., who was in the stands tonight. Dre's just like a proud papa smiling at that moment. But it got ugly. And again, I have no clue what happened other than Kerr and Draymond got into a back and forth. Steph is sitting next to Draymond, not doing a thing, like just awkward is the best way I can describe Steph's position on this. Moses Moody is playing peacemaker. And then Draymond Green gets up, leaves, and we don't see him again until I believe the end of the third quarter when he comes back in street clothes. Now, the good news is it didn't affect the Warriors as a team. They kicked ass. They won the game handily. Again, final score 120-107. As the Warriors, and again, this was a badly needed win for them. No doubt about that. They improved to 15-15 on the year. Season is still alive in terms of whatever hopes we may have for the squad. But was that just a one-off? In this entire run, I don't think Kerr and Dre have ever publicly spat like this. The infamous moment between those two happened during halftime when they supposedly got into a screaming match with each other, I believe in a game at the Clippers many, many years ago, over 10 years ago now. But to do it publicly, that's new. And I don't know if the catalyst for that was... Hopscam, are you listening to me, buddy? Do you pay attention? Are you even watching? Or you just like to chat? I'm literally talking about this right now, but and again, going back to this, like I don't know what this means. Are we now officially, formally putting Draymond Green in the trade machine with Jonathan Kuminga, who's almost certainly gone if Joe Lacob continues letting Steve Kerr run this ship? Bamboo Soldier, bless up. writing they play better without Dre, and I think that is clear. 4 championships excluded, defense excluded. Again, this is not a game where you're setting the barometer for this team. Orlando was missing 3 vitally important players, 3 starters essentially. Not essentially, literally. So 3 of their 5 starters were out. Do not pretend this game means anything other than a win, and it's important for the big picture. We're now 30 games into the season, and a loss would have dropped them 2 games below 500. A win, they're now 500. You're staying alive in one of Steph's final seasons. That's good news. But play better without Dre? Look, Hamza Kassem, 2 starters, Franz Wagner, D'Souza, Jalen Suggs. Who am I missing? All 3 of those players, or maybe D'Souza is a bench player, but D'Souza started against the Warriors the last time they played when Paolo Ben-Kettle was out. So 2.5, whatever. Who cares, man? Don't pull semantical bullshit on me, please. Okay, the goal here is communicating clearly. You get the gist. Don't pretend this Orlando Magic team is somebody that you should be feeling good about in the sense that, oh boy, the Warriors figured it out. It's a good win. It's a needed win. It was also a win that was supposed to happen. It was expected. I'm far more fascinated right now with the Draymond Green situation. Great timing for Rick Barry, who's coming on the program tomorrow. Nice early tease for that. But let's talk about this game that featured Draymond Green and Kerr going at it. What led to that? What I'm fascinated to learn is, was Kerr going to pull him at that point? This happened at the 8:31 mark of the third quarter. That's usually not when Steve Kerr is making substitutions. He usually waits till about the halfway point of a quarter before making changes. So an abrupt substitution, if that's what Kerr was doing, then I could understand Draymond Green getting upset about that. But did Kerr just say something to him, like cut down the turnovers? Was he giving a lecture to his player? And Dre didn't like hearing it? Was it something else entirely? Side note, that turnover in the third quarter was Draymond Green's first of the entire game. That's weird. That is really weird. I thought Dre was actually having a good night. He had 9.7 rebounds, 2 assists, and that 1 turnover, which happened right before he left. Who knows what happened? And again, I can't emphasize this enough. Playboy Brendel dropping $1.99 for this, and I appreciate you, but and forgive me for the pushback here. But let's not disregard a Hall of Fame basketball player because the Warriors handily beat an Eastern Conference team missing 2 to 3 starters. All right, let's just hit the brakes a little bit on that. But I feel you. I'm and G4M is saying, do you know this for a fact though that Steve Kerr pulled Draymond Green? And what the F is fashion is saying that was needed. Again, that was his first turnover of the night. What was he doing wrong where you're implying that was needed? I'm not going to even try to pronounce that. Forgive me. But another person in our chat, Ale something Israel, writing, if there's a riff with Draymond and Kerr, it's over JK. I think it's over JK regardless. I mean, the only question I have, and on that note, I do have some breaking news. I almost forgot to preface by saying we're going to have some breaking news on this program. Nothing crazy, but it's news that no one else is reporting. Every once in a while, we get the scoop on things. I'll give you that scoop in just a minute. We'll break down what happened tonight. If we learn as the show progresses what went down with Dre and Steve Kerr, we'll talk about that. James Baum is asking me to check Draymond's minutes the last 5 Warriors wins. Okay, again, 5 wins. We're just going to throw away a Hall of Fame career because of 5 wins. And who are those wins against? That part's damn important. Are people just turning on Dre? Do people not like Dre anymore? Are people just pretending that he wasn't a pivotal part of a dynasty? What's going on here? I guess so. Hamza Kassem saying there's footage of it. No shit, dude. Do you listen to the show, brother? I said that already. I said I posted the clip of it on social media. Doesn't mean we can hear it. Was there a lip reader who broke down the context? Well, let's talk about it. Wow. That's craziness. And of course, wow. People turning on Dre. That's crazy. All right. Let's talk about this again. The Warriors winners, 120-107, 120-97. I apologize. I've been saying 121-07. The Warriors won this game by 23 points. Bravo to them. Brandon Podziemski is going to get his flowers. Brandon Podziemski might just get player of the game honors. I'll leave that up to the chat to confirm. Podziemski with 16 points, 5 assists. I've always said, get the assists. You're good in my book. He got them. 5 minimum. Added 4 rebounds. Did have 2 turnovers. Had an absurd plus 36 in net rating, which is largely because he subbed in for Draymond Green with the team down 71-66. And then they just pulled away. Anyway, but good for him. Is he a player of the game, or is it Steph Curry, who did not shoot well from deep, but without him, they don't win any games, really. Not many. He had 26 points. Is it Jimmy Butler? 21 points, 3 assists, 3 boards. Was it Moses Moody, whose defense was outstanding? Moses Moody had a night. He finished with 20 points, 3 of 6 shooting from deep. I'll let you folks decide. We're getting it's Moody, flower to pods. Moody was solid. A lot of Moody votes. All right. Yeah, Moody played fantastic basketball tonight. All right, Moses Moody pulling off the upset. I thought the crowd would jump on the Brandon Podziemski's train, but all right, we'll award the Moses Moody. We'll award Moses Moody with the FanDuel Player of the Game honors in just a second. Wainster, you got a $5 chat. I'll publish that in just a second. And we got some breaking news for you. Again, not super big or anything, but it's exclusive. It's information you're not going to get anywhere else. Again, we do that every once in a while. Let's break it down. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. It is a holiday week, so is it a happy Monday? Christmas is Friday. We got a little break from a storm here in the Bay Area. Got a lot of water just dumping on Northern California right now. Flooding, power outages. Draymond and Kerr are beefing. And the Warriors won. Let's break it down. We're powered by FanDuel. This is the Golden Days. Let's go. Welcome to the program. My name is Cyrus Saatsaz, host of this show. Again, it's called Golden Days. We're coming to you live from the Golden Days studios in West Sonoma County, California. You can follow me on Threads and Instagram at Dog Wild, over on Twitter at Surf Journalist, the program on both platforms at Golden Days Pod. And we're brought to you by FanDuel, the official title sponsor. As again, we incredibly still have inventory available for local sponsors. If you're interested in sponsoring this program, we're growing fast. We're already one of, if not the top programs in terms of monthly downloads. And you can email us if you're interested in partnering with us, warriors24pod@gmail.com. Again, warriors24pod@gmail.com. So you can get the kind of love that I like to give to FanDuel, our title sponsor, who is the official sportsbook, is a place that I'd be spending probably all of my waking hours if it was legal in California. I love my home state. Is it overly regulated? F yes. Let us play FanDuel, please, for the love of God. And speaking of FanDuel, if you want to bet on the Warriors in their next game, which is Thursday, right? Yeah, Thursday is Christmas. Did I say Friday is Christmas? I apologize. Thursday is Christmas. You can bet on them. The line which was there. Hold on a second. I've been seeing that Warriors Mavericks line on the FanDuel Sportsbook for weeks now. Don't deprive me when I need you most. So there it is. So the Warriors will have tomorrow and Wednesday off, and then they host the Dallas Mavericks. Klay Thompson's coming back into town on Thursday. I'm riveted to see Cooper Flagg play, riveted to see how the Warriors handle this Maverick squad, who represent inconsistency at its finest. One game, they look like a very badass basketball squad. Then you see them another night, and they look like amateurs. So we'll see which version shows up to play the Golden State Warriors Thursday. If you want to put money down, the Warriors are favored by 7.5. The money line, if you want to bet on Dallas to pull off the underdog special, is plus 235. The OU on that, 226.5. Again, courtesy of FanDuel, the official sports book of Golden Days and the Believe Network. Wainster dropping $5, saying the Warriors are a very good team when they play intentional. Agreed. Concerted effort to reduce turnovers. How did the Warriors do in turnovers tonight? The Warriors won the turnover battle tonight, 18-13. Those 13 turnovers by the Warriors resulted in 21 Orlando points. Those 18 Orlando turnovers resulted in just 9 Warriors points. So the Warriors were not getting their buckets largely from those turnovers, despite having less of them. Wainster adding much hustle, total team effort, about to go on a run. You might be right. When you consider what the schedule is looking like with the team currently 15-15, at the 30-game mark, that means there's 52 games remaining. Before I abandon talking about FanDuel, I want to go back to the sportsbook real fast just to see if the OU on the season total of wins is available, because that line is often not there if you want to bet on the Warriors. The bookies cannot get a good read on this team. The last time it was available, it was 45.5, not available currently. So I don't know what the OU is on that. But Wainster, I appreciate the positivity, the optimism. You clearly love your Dubs, and I hope you're right, because if you are, then the Warriors could be setting themselves up for something special as January 15th approaches, and the team, it would shock me if Jonathan Kuminga is on this team in a few weeks. He got another DNP tonight. Curious to see what this turns into. Curious to see what Mike Dunleavy Jr. and Joe Lacob have cooking. But that run you're talking about, very possible, because the remainder of the calendar year features one more home game. The Warriors host the Dallas Mavericks, and then they go on a 3-game road trip. But that road trip, not exactly a daunting affair. They play the Raptors, they play the Brooklyn Nets, and then they in a back-to-back set, which is always makes life a little more difficult. And then they play the Charlotte Hornets on New Year's Eve. Again, we'll be live for every one of those post-game shows. And Wainster, you might be right. When 2026 rolls around, your Golden State Warriors could very easily be 19-15. Would not be surprised by that. So, by the way, A-Rod in our chat saying that Steve Kerr, who I see on the podium right now, deflected questions about Draymond. Huge surprise. Riz asking, will we ever see Seth and Steph? Seth Curry was out again tonight because of that gluteus issue. Something going on with the booty. That's what the glutes are. It's your butt muscles. Not to be confused with your coccyx. Your coccyx, I think it's spelled COCCYX, is your tailbone. They're next to each other, but your tailbone's a bone. Your glutes are muscles, right? Muscles, not tendons, muscles. And Seth Curry has been dealing with a glute issue. So that's why he hasn't been playing. Come Up brings up something very interesting. Come Up 25 saying, Golden Days, or by the way, thank you, sir or miss, looks like a sir, saying, no fun run without Kuminga. I miss those crazy slam dunks. Yeah, this is definitely, and folks, let me know if you disagree with this sentiment. This is definitely the most boring version of the Warriors that at least I've seen in quite a few years. Last time I felt like watching Warriors basketball was this disinteresting was maybe 2021, but even then, like, Steph was on a tear. He had an MVP campaign that season, got robbed, in my humble opinion, by Nikola Jokic. But yeah, it's not fun. It's a boring brand of ball. But look, they won. It's all that matters. Now let me Tracy McKendall in our chat saying, watch the interview that Kalena Azubuike and Moses Moody did. What stuck out to you in that interview? I did watch it. I love Moses Moody. And again, our player of the game, our FanDuel player of the game, voted on by you. His stats tonight, he played 32 minutes, 25 seconds, 8 of 11 from the field, 3 of 6 from deep, 20 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 blocks. Second on the team in net rating with a plus 23 behind Brandon Pajemski's plus 36. Other net rating stars on the night, Stephen Curry plus 17, Quentin Post plus 10, Trace Jackson Davis plus 8. Guy Santos, who did practically nothing on the box score, but if you watch the game, and this is why box scores alone do not tell the full story, Guy Santos was fantastic. I love Guy. Will Richard, huge surprise, had his minutes cut again. Didn't hurt the team, thankfully. He only played 12 minutes and 57 seconds, but I was giving you net rating leaders because when you look at it collectively, when you look at it with 4 or 5 names bunched up, and you start to get a picture of who was out there making a difference. And again, Moody, Steph, Quentin Post had the plus 10, Brandon Pajemski had the plus 36, and Guy Santos in 10 minutes and 7 seconds of play almost entirely, or maybe entirely in the second half. Let me confirm that. I believe we did not see a Guy Santos sighting until the third quarter. Let me just confirm that real quickly. Guy Santos did not play in the first half. Yeah, so all his 10 minutes and 7 seconds came in the second half, and they were positive. Again, the box score will show nothing. He did have 2 steals and 1 rebound, and that's it. That's the entire output. Not even a field goal attempt. But the defense was there. The energy is there. His hands were on every single loose ball. And despite having, again, 0 points, 0 assists, just 1 rebound, did have 2 steals, but he was a plus 14 in net rating. Guy Santos, our FanDuel player of the game. No, I'm just kidding. That was Moses Moody. Bravo again. And kudos to KKS in her chat, gifting 20 Golden Days memberships. Does that mean like you literally just paid for 20 people to become Golden Daysers? Bravo, KKS. That's I respect you. I like you. Thank you for supporting the program tremendously. That's a very nice thing for you to do. And RIP to Trace Jackson Davis's shoe that came off during a possession. I do remember that. Let's see if any sound has come down though, because I really need to hear what Kerr had to say. The interview is over. So nothing on the socials, but as we have learned, at least I've learned, a few other people out there like to publish these press conferences. Bless you, folks. The Warriors sometimes do it themselves. So nothing yet, but I think we're going to get one very soon. And we'll just play the entirety of it. I like that this new format we're doing in these post-game shows where we don't just play clips of Steve Kerr. I want to hear it all. Because sometimes the best parts are not played, and that's what we're here for. The breaking news I wanted to share with you, and again, it's nothing crazy, huge. It's not earth-shaking, but it is worth noting, and especially if you follow the Warriors as closely as I do, it's interesting information, and I think it's very pertinent when you consider what went down tonight with Draymond Green. So you all know about the Joe Lacob email. They got publicized by, and we don't know if this person who put it on Reddit and it got picked up by everyone else is a season ticket holder, if they're just a fan who happened to find the right email address. I don't know much about this person. If anyone in the chat does, enlighten me and the audience, please. But that email, again, there's been a lot of debate about whether Joe Lacob intentionally leaked it, about how serious he was. Here is what I've had multiple sources tell me is Joe Lacob's ire when he said he was frustrated in that email is directly because of the Kuminga usage. 100%. It is not because of Jimmy Butler, who was mentioned in that email. It's not, I don't know what other reasons you could cite. Maybe not playing Will Richard, the Hobbit ball. I don't know. But I could tell you this with certainty that what Joe Lacob is frustrated about is Jonathan Kuminga getting DNPs. And the reason why I think that's important is because the floating assumption, the massively huge hypothesis that people who follow the Warriors believe, myself included, because I don't know what else to make of all this, is that Kuminga's going to get traded. But Joe Lacob loves this kid. So I have no idea what's going to happen. I have no clue what's going to happen. Jeff Riggenbach in our chats writing that a fan had a shirt on in the stands that said play JK. And then we also had Steve Kerr following, I believe, a practice yesterday, telling the media that he's going to stay as long as Stephen Curry is here. Are you? I don't know. This thing's a shit show. Good news is they won tonight. And as soon as we get that Steve Kerr soundbite, I will play it. I don't see anything that's come down the wire yet, but I'm most certainly riveted by the back and forth between Kerr and Dre. Let me check a couple of the sources here really quickly, just to see if anyone's published this press conference. I'm going to ask this of the chat and audience, if you don't mind, since your eyes and ears are all over the place. Are any of, or are they skirting it? Because it's a huge deal. It is a very big deal. And side note, if you don't want to be a part of this, just come into the chat and rip me. You'll get blocked in 2 seconds. And that's it. Bad Hombre saying that the sound went out. You're referring to this Kerr interview or me? I hope it's I hope my audio sounds okay. Yeah, it's not. It's the Kerr soundbite is not available yet. Stephen Curry. I want to read his stat line real fast because the threes were not falling in the first half, and then he made up for that in the second half. Steph in this game, and I don't think it's even like I don't think it's even up for debate anymore. What Steve Kerr does with his rotations clearly is try to make Steve is. Let me start over. What Steve Kerr is trying to do clearly is make Steph happy, with the hope that by making Steph happy, you're producing positive results. You're producing wins, right? And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But there is not a huge explanation or reasoning for the fact that GP2 and Brandon Podziemski are always the first two players off the bench, where with any other head coach, any other coach in the NBA, there's 29 other coaches. That ain't happening with the other 29. Guarantee that. But you also see what they're doing out there, whether it's Podziemski or GP2. All they care about is making Steph look good. It just isn't complicated. Now, is Steph is he deserving of such treatment? Yes. Can you give him such treatment while also focusing on the team as a whole? Yes. Steph tonight, again, in the first half was slumping a little bit here. But then he picked it up in the second half. In the first half of this game, Steph was just 3 of 13 from the field, 0 of 6 from deep. Did have 8 points in the first half. But in the second, he started to erupt. And his second half line, 7 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 from deep, 18 second half points, even had 4 assists. Steph's assist numbers waning a bit this season. Case in point, Stephen Curry this season is averaging 4.2 assists per game, well below his career average of 6.3. Well, tonight, again, he had the 4 second-half assists. His box score for the 4 quarters combined played 31 minutes and 9 seconds. You love that. That's one of many issues I've been seeing with Steve Kerr's management of this team, is giving Stephen Curry way too many minutes. 31 minutes and 9 seconds. There we go. There we go. Now you're doing something right. He was 10 of 23 from the field, 4 of 13 from deep. Again, 0 of 6 in the first half, 4 of 7 in the second half. Added 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 3 turnovers, which we live with, and 2 steals for 26 points. Wardell. Does the dude look exacerbated at times at the end of games? Yeah. He's showing his age a little bit. Is he still one of the greatest players in the game today and all time? Hell yeah. F yeah. And it also makes you wonder, what is Steph thinking about the Draymond situation? That's an answer I bet nobody has, except for Stephen Curry himself. Like, how does this work? I need this Steve Kerr press conference. Like this. Look, the Warriors won tonight. Awesome. They're 15-15. They're on the right track. But let's not pretend what the real story is here. And I need to hear from Steve Kerr, because here's one question I have right off the bat that I know nobody else knows. But again, this is how my mind works, is wondering what the answers are to the questions we don't have. Case in point, and again, we have one Steve Kerr clip here right now we're going to listen to, and then we'll play the whole press conference as soon as we get that, as soon as I find that clip. But here is Steve Kerr right now talking about the Draymond situation. And the question I have before we listen to Steve Kerr is, some noise in my house. My apologies. What does Steph think about this? Like, in that locker room right now. And by the way, I love what the F is fashion writing. Kerr will tap dance. For whatever reason, my mind just started picturing him actually just doing the, just the whole tap dance routine. Could you picture Steve Kerr doing that with the weird? Do people tap dance anymore? Anyways, let's listen. But what is Stephen Curry feeling about this? Is Draymond confiding in Steph? Because Steph in that clip looked awkward. He was seated right next to Dre and just was kind of like slumped back, just going, what do I do here? It was one of those, remember those commercials, you want to get away? I think Southwest used to run those. That was a want to get away moment for Stephen Curry right there. And here is Steve Kerr, the head coach of the Warriors, talking about a verbal altercation that took place between Draymond Green and Steve Kerr early in the third quarter. Draymond Green soon after left, went to the tunnel, got dressed in his street clothes, came back out, watched the rest of it with his teammates, but just wearing street clothes. And here's Steve Kerr's reaction to what exactly happened.
How would you describe the Draymond had on the bench? How would you describe the nature of the conversation you and Draymond had on the bench in the third quarter before he went to the locker room?
Yeah, we got into it, obviously, and I took the timeout just because I thought we lost our focus there a little bit, and so we had it out a little bit, and he made his decision to go back to the locker room to cool off, and that's all I'm going to say about it. It's everything is private, and I got nothing further to add.
Would you? I mean, he didn't play the last 20 minutes. Would you have gone back to?
No, he wasn't going back in.
Did he? And was that a decision by him or you?
Well, he left. He went back to the locker room, and so we moved forward, and the guys played great. It's a hell of a win, really good second half, and I'm very proud of the team. And like I said, nothing more to discuss from my end.
How would you describe the nature of?
Yeah, we're gonna listen to this one more time, and again, the moment we get the full press conference, Steve Kerr's full press conference after this game, we'll play that. But That's interesting. We're going to hear it one more time, but from what I can gather with the reporter, I think that was Nick Friedel asking those questions. Don't quote me on that. I can't tell for certain. I'm going to listen again with all of you right now. But from what I can ascertain in these answers is that Kerr did not reveal if he was subbing Draymond out at that point. He called the timeout. The Warriors were trailing by 5, and we don't know what the back and forth was about. But I think what the reporter was trying to ask, which Steve Kerr would not answer, is, were you going to put Draymond back in the game? And Kerr spun it as he wasn't going to come back. He left. But that's not what the reporter was asking. The reporter wanted to know, was he done for the night regardless of whether or not he left? In other words, did he leave because you told him he's out of the game? And Kerr would not answer that. But let's listen to this clip one more time.
How would you describe the nature of the conversation you and Draymond had on the bench in the third quarter before he went to the locker room?
Yeah, we got into it obviously, and I took the timeout just because I thought we lost our focus there a little bit, and so we had it out a little bit, and he made his decision to go back to the locker room to cool off, and that's all I'm going to say about it. It's everything is private, and I got nothing further to add.
Would you? I mean, he didn't play the last 20 minutes. Would you have gone back to?
No, he wasn't going back in.
Did he? And was that a decision by him or you?
Well, he left. He went back to the locker room, and so we moved forward, and the guys played great. It's a hell of a win.
God damn it! That was Anthony Slater asking the questions, and he tried to follow up to get an answer. I can't tell if Steve was just being obtuse and that he just wasn't following along with what Slater was trying to ask, which is like, were you going to put him in or did you pull him out? And Steve just kept going, oh, he left. Unbelievable.
Thing is private, and I got nothing further to add.
Would you? I mean, he didn't play the last 20 minutes. Would you have gone back to?
No, he wasn't going back in.
Did he? And was that a decision by him or you?
Well, he left. He went back to the locker room, and so we moved forward, and the guys played great. It's a hell of a win. Really good second half, and I'm very proud of the team. And like I said, nothing more to discuss from my end.
Oof. I don't. Did this ever happen to Greg Popovich? I don't think this ever happened to Phil Jackson, and he had Dennis Rodman on his team. KKS in the chat saying Slater is relentless. He's just one of the only people doing his job right. That's what you're supposed to do, is ask follow-up questions. It's called a probing style of interviewing, where you don't let the subject deflect and straw man you out of the answer. And Slater is just the only one who does it. It's pathetic what happens in that room. TLC says, yes, it happened to Pop. Who stormed off the middle of the game when Pop was the coach? Jeff Riggenbach saying Draymond should be released for abandoning his team. Frank B saying once he left the bench and went back, his night was over. My question is, what players have done that? I mean, because that is insubordinate to just bail like that. That is, I mean, if the Warriors had lost this game, that would have been a very ugly look on all parties involved. Damn, the Warriors got lucky winning this. Like again, winning fixes a lot of shit. Winning also shuts up a situation like this. Oh boy. I'm going to be the only one that says this, I guarantee it, in terms of the media scene, that the most important thing about getting a win tonight was not going back to 500 for your record or improving to 8th in the standings, wherever the Warriors are. It was to shut this potential drama down. Because if the Warriors had lost, no one is letting this go. Everybody's already going to talk about this tomorrow, but it becomes an ugly look for everybody. Now, maybe Draymond looks bad, and that's it. The Warriors, by the way, with the 15-15 record, still 8th in the standings. They're a game and a half ahead of the Grizzlies, one back of the Suns, but they're 2 back in the loss column. The Suns have played 2 less games than the Warriors currently. And then the Warriors trail the Houston Rockets by 4. The Rockets are currently the 6th seed. That's 17-9. The Warriors 15-15. And do I actually see Draymond Green at the podium? Is there a stream of that? Let me see if I can get a stream of that. Hold on one second. I can't do Hulu. I've tried that once. Wow, Raymond Ritter actually led Draymond to the podium. Kind of makes me wonder if Draymond just like pushed everyone aside and was like, no, I want to say my piece. Hold on. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get a stream of this. Hold on. And if not, I'll play the whole thing. We'll just wait. I'll wait for the whole thing to come down. Let's say the Steve Kerr presser is now available so we can listen to the entirety of it. It is. And this is where there's an individual on YouTube who goes by Basket Man. Think of the word basketball, replace the word at the end of it, ball with man, Basket Man, at Basket Man 2023. Sincerest thanks to you. You are a borderline hero. Oh, you guys are all just watching Twitter right now? I'm still sharing my screen. Well, let's go to the right screen. Here is Steve Kerr immediately after the game tonight. Again, this is courtesy of Basket Man on YouTube. You are a hero, sir. Here is Steve Kerr after the game.
How would you describe the nature of the conversation you and Draymond had on the bench in the third quarter before he went to the locker room?
Yeah, we got into it obviously, and I took the timeout just because I thought we lost our focus there a little bit, and so we had it out a little bit, and he made his decision to go back to the locker room to cool off, and that's all I'm going to say about it. It's everything is private. And I got nothing further to add.
Would you? I mean, he didn't play the last 20 minutes. Would you have gone back to?
No, he wasn't going back in.
Did he? And was that a decision by him or you?
Well, he left. He went back to the locker room, and so we moved forward, and the guys played great. It's a hell of a win. Really good second half, and I'm very proud of the team. And like I said, nothing more to discuss from my end.
Clarify, he went to the locker room. He wasn't sent to the locker room.
Right.
Steve, you've been through a lot of different stuff in your career. How does the group move forward after that kind of exchange happens in a game?
The group's ready to go. I mean, you could see the game tonight, and we need Draymond, and he's a champion, and we've been together for a long time, and all we can do is the rest of the group keep pushing, keep getting better. I thought this was one of our better games. I thought the first half was brilliant. We just didn't make shots. I thought Draymond played great. The whole team was really, really good, but we were 3 for 18 from the 3-point line. We just couldn't make anything in the first half, but the process was great. That continued through the second half. And it's unfortunate what happened, but it happened.
To what you're saying, you don't think it'll linger?
No.
Steve, this is the second time in a row that the team has kind of responded to Draymond's absence in a positive way. Did it mean anything?
Means we got guys on the bench who are dying to play. I mean, this is the NBA, and all these guys have their careers at stake, and they want to win, they want to play, and if their opportunity comes up, they're ready to go.
And Jimmy was really efficient in the first half. Steph couldn't get much going, and then it flipped in the second half where Steph came out on fire. Yeah. That kind of tag team action, what do you take from that?
It's 2 of the best players in the league. When we got Jimmy last year, that's what it looked like. 2 stars carrying the team. Draymond at center, holding down the defense. We go 23-8. We win a round in the playoffs. So we've seen this. It's just here in the early part of this season, we haven't been able to capture that same momentum. But I've been saying this for weeks. I'm very confident in this group, and I think we're gonna find it. And I think you saw, what that can look like tonight.
I think Podziemski was plus 36 tonight. How important is it for this group for him to be playing like he has for the past couple weeks?
Yeah, he's a hell of a player. We've seen it. He's had his ups and downs early in his career. This is year 3. Like a lot of young players who are good players, he wants to explore how good he can be, and so sometimes he gets himself in trouble trying to do too much. But when he's at his best, it looks like it did tonight. Ball's moving, he's attacking, rebounding. He's a really good player.
I will say this: the next time I'm at Chase Center and I get a chance to ask Steve Kerr a question, what I want to ask him is, what is Podziemski doing that Jonathan Kuminga needs to do to earn the trust and the minutes that Podziemski is getting from you? And I want to hear what Kerr's answer to that is. Because outside of like the just going all out every possession, every play, and look, I respect that. I get that. And that's what Podziemski represents largely. Is just he's Johnny Hustle, right? And Kuminga from an image perspective, from a perception perspective, meaning when you watch him play, like you don't get that impression that he's going all out on like every possession like Brandon Podziemski is. And whether that's true or not, we don't know, because just because it doesn't look like it doesn't mean in his mind he's not actually doing it. It could be a communication breakdown where they're not explaining to him properly, what he's not doing to earn more minutes. My dog's all riled up. Even he can sense the dissension going on with the Golden State Warriors, but that would be the question that I'd want to ask Steve. And I think I'm going to wait until after the trade deadline. Like if Kuminga is still a part of this team after the trade deadline, I will ask Steve Kerr that. Anyways, let's listen to the rest of this press conference. Fascinating shit. By the way, the clip that NBC Sports Bay Area posted, which is where I played that original clip, they cut I think 56 seconds of what was actually 3 to 4 minutes of him talking about that Draymond situation. So again, Basket Man on YouTube. Subscribe to the guy. That's where I got this clip from. Thank you, Basket Man. Here's the rest of Steve Kerr following tonight's 120-97 win over the Orlando Magic at Chase Center as the Warriors improve to 15-15.
This also had a good night, 20 points, defense on Banchero. What'd you see from him?
Moses was fantastic. And it's nice to get him back in the starting lineup. As I said, I'd like to keep this lineup, going forward. And Mo last year, when he got into the starting lineup, the last 30 games really thrived. It's a great role for him, guarding the other team's best player and spotting up, playing off of Jimmy and Dre and Steph. And Moses had a fantastic night tonight.
Steve, you guys outscored them 62-50 in the paint. What do you think led to you guys getting in the paint and finishing so well tonight? Well,
I thought we had really good spacing, which gave us driving lanes. Felt like we rebounded, really well. 14 offensive boards, and that's a monster team. And to basically stay even with them on the free throw line and the glass was a big deal for us.
Hello, Coach. Talk about Brandon. He finished the games with 36 plus minus. I was wondering how that data impacts your rotation decision in the future.
Yeah, ever since Brandon got here, he's been one of our highest plus minus guys. And, that number is, it's not always telling about how the game went, but when a guy is consistently on the plus side like Brandon is, he's doing something right. What I like about him is that he's good with almost any lineup. I like playing him with a point guard. I think he's at his best when he can play kind of the combo, handle the ball, move it. be part of the 5-man group rather than, being the only point who's dominating the ball. So he really connects a lot of our lineups.
And about center selection, I was wondering, how did you make decision between the TJD and QP? Obviously, they bring the different skill sets on the table.
The difference between QP and Trace? And Trace, yeah. They complement each other really well. I mean, they're very different players, obviously. And, Quentin has just grown so much defensively this last year. Gotten stronger, more athletic. You saw the block shot tonight he had in the paint. And then Trace comes in and he gives us a different look, more of a roller, a finisher at the rim. And it's really exciting seeing these young guys, start to emerge and come into their own. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. That was Steve Kerr, Warriors head coach. Following tonight's win, I desperately want to hear from Draymond Green. Let's see if Basket Man published that interview yet. Basket Man, my new hero. Posting all the clips, giving the people what they want. Oh, he does like all the teams. All right, so folks, if you want, I don't know if it's all the teams. I see Detroit. No, he does a lot of teams. Well, if you ever want to hear coaches, players before and after games, again, just look up Basket Man on YouTube. He is your guy. He'll take care of you. I don't see the full Draymond press conference yet following the Warriors Magic game, but there is one clip on the socials I want to play real fast. This is courtesy of NBC Sports Bay Area. This one's short, but let's hear at least what Draymond's initial messaging is. And I do have a lot of respect for Draymond Green trying to control the message by speaking to the media after the game tonight. Smart move on his part. So let's hear from Dre. This one's short. Again, we'll listen to the entire thing when it's available. But for now, Dre, why did you leave your team early third quarter?
Draymond, what happened and why did you leave the bench?
Temper spilled over, and I just thought it was best that I got out of there. I don't think there was a situation where it was going to get better. So it was just best to remove myself, that's it.
Draymond, what?
All right, look, that's I don't know if you folks find the comedy in that. We got to get the whole clip because I'm dying to know if someone asked a follow-up question. Case in point, Dre, what would have happened if you didn't leave? Dre, if you didn't leave, who would you have choked out? Your coach? Someone else? Congrats on having the luxury to just get up and leave your work setting because tempers were flaring. He's like, I'm out. Look, respect for the self-awareness. Better to get up and leave than to just cold cock and knock out your head coach in front of the world. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. Oh my God. That is funny. That is because that's just a crazy answer. Yeah, I took myself out of a situation that would have gotten very ugly very fast if I stayed any longer. There's like so many ways to interpret that. Another interpretation. Yeah, I as you all know, I have a temper, and if I let the temper take over, I punch people and beat the shit out of them. So, dude, that's crazy. That is craziness. Let's see. I got to hear the whole thing. Basket Man, are you coming through for me yet? Let's see if there's any new videos. No, he still doesn't have the Draymond clip published yet. We'll get to that very soon. I think Steph Curry also went to the podium. We'll hear from him as well. That is too much, man. And look, best case scenario, like this really just gets swept under the rug. That is a very strong possibility. It leads to a bigger question, like, can Steve Kerr's ego handle that? Because, one of your key players just got up and left, just bailed on you. What do we hear from no, that's on you. I was going to say let's hear from Jimmy Butler, but talking, by the way, San Francisco Bay Area, stand up and represent. It wasn't just the Warriors with a blowout win tonight. It was also your San Francisco 49ers. Bravo. Good night for the Bay. 49ers doing some ass kicking, beating up old man Rivers. Side note, thank you, Phillip Rivers, for making us old dudes look damn good. Phillip, I think I have 2 years on Phillip. So kudos to Phillip Rivers, even though his Colts lost, but he did put up 27 points for him. And then your Golden State Warriors with a nice blowout victory at home against the Orlando Magic. Old man Rivers, thank you, brother. Guys like him, Kelly Slater, the Surfer, Jerry Rice, making us old fogies look good. I need this Draymond Green press conference. I got to hear the whole thing, because something tells me that little clip from let me see if maybe the Warriors published it. The Warriors did not publish it, even though they should be smart enough to know that Draymond post-game press conference is going to get you traffic numbers, son. You would get those clips. Those clicks, I'm sorry. Nothing yet. All right. I need more Dre. I need to hear more Dre. That could not have been the extent of it. I was watching my television. I saw that man. Why didn't Kevin Dana do the radio broadcast for the Warriors tonight? I gotta reach out to my boy Kevin. What was that about? Where was Tim Roy tonight? Sorry, folks. I'm desperately trying to get some more Dre sound. Here's some more. And this one comes with good audio, courtesy of KNBR. I hope this is not the exact same. It's a lot longer than the other clip we just listened to. Here's some more from Draymond on why he left. And I love that he's doing this interview while looking at his phone.
Draymond, what happened and why did you leave the bench?
Temper spilled over, and I just thought it was best that I got out of there. I don't think there was a situation where it was going to get better. So.
All right. I can't thank that's literally this person's handle. Thank you. Saying the Dre interview is posted on the full one is now available, courtesy of Basket Man, my new favorite YouTube channel, not named Golden Days. Let's hear from let's listen to the whole thing. Draymond Green talking to the media soon after just bailing. Just said, not tonight. I could keep hanging around, but I might just murder my head coach. Best if I leave. Here is Draymond Green.
Draymond, what happened and why did you leave the bench? Draymond, what happened and why did you leave the bench? Draymond, what happened and why did you leave the bench?
Temper spilled over, and I just thought it was best that I got out of there. I don't think there was a situation where it was going to get better. So it was just best to remove myself, that's it.
What caused the argument?
Basketball, it's what we do. We play basketball. It's an emotional game. People lose their emotions. Sometimes it happens. It is what it is. We've been at this now for a long time, So sometimes you with people for a long time, there's a level of comfort and shit happens. We move forward.
I mean, do you feel like this will linger at all?
No, we move forward. We move forward.
Have you and Steve been able to talk about it since?
No, he had to talk to y'all. Everybody's doing their thing, but we're good. We'll move forward. We all right.
It came after a couple of turnovers in the third. I mean, what's your level of frustration right now? I guess with your play right now.
I'm not frustrated at all. I had one turnover today. I had the ball the whole time I was in the game, so I know how to fix problems when they're a problem. I had one turnover in my minutes, and I essentially ran our offense today. So.
And again, that's the part that makes this kind of sussy, and certainly is from my perspective begging the question of what the catalyst was, what initiated the disagreement, because Draymond's turnovers have been an issue. They've always been an issue his entire career, but he makes up for that with a million other things. And lately, though, he hasn't been making up for it as much. But he only had one turnover tonight. Yeah, so I'd love to. Oh man, what did those two say to each other?
How do you feel? I mean, 15-15, y'all obviously won tonight. Like, just generally, like, where do you feel this team is at right now?
I think we're headed in the right direction. No one's happy about being 15-15, but I think we're starting to figure out different things, rotations, and who we are as a team. So I think that's all starting to come together, and we're looking a lot better.
Draymond, Brandon said that you were still talking a ton on the bench when you came back. You guys outscored them 62-40 in the second half. What did you see that was working the best tonight?
The ball moved. We moved the ball. We got, the shots started falling. I thought we played a great first half, and shots just didn't fall. But then the shots start falling. You continue to play that way, both defensively and offensively, making the right play. The shots will start to fall, and they started to go in the second half. They just wouldn't go in the first half.
And just piggybacking off that, sorry, I was muted there. In the first half of the game tonight, the Warriors, Jesus, he's not kidding. They were just 3 of 18 from deep. I mentioned this way earlier in the show. Steph Curry was 0 of 6 from deep in the first half. The team collectively 3 of 18 with their three-point shooting. That's just 16.7%. Second half, it's a lot better. It's they weren't like lights out, but they were 8 of 19 from deep in the second half. And Stephen Curry, the apex of all this, clearly 4 of 7 from deep in the second half. So the shots he's right. They were falling a lot more in the second half than the first half. And in terms of ball movement, Draymond in his 17 minutes, 46 seconds, 2 assists. The team had 32 assists total, healthy number. To put it in perspective for you tonight, Orlando with 21 assists, the Warriors with 32.
Draymond, you mentioned it. You guys have been through a whole hell of a lot through the years. Why don't you think this particular episode will linger?
Because none of the other ones ever have. Still keep winning. So it'll be all right.
When you left the bench for the locker room, did you know that was going to be it for you tonight? And when you came back to the bench, did you expect to go back in?
I mean, I was going back to the bench, I'm going to be available for my teammates. I'm never going to quit on my teammates. So, but it's also not my decision whether I go back in the game or not. But, I thought I owed it to my teammates to be there and never quitting on them, so. But it's no issue with me not going back in. I was quite stiff, to be honest. So it's probably better I didn't go back in.
Hello, Draymond. You talk about move forward, but how did you make sure that move forward is going to the right way?
do the right things, you know. As long as the objective is to win, and that's the main objective, then the only way forward is the right way, if that's the objective.
You guys didn't expect to be 15-15 after 30 games. I mean, not at all. So how much of that
Probably why tempers are flaring.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. I mean, is that a factor in some of the frustration?
Of course, you know. Quite honestly, if everybody's okay with being 15-15 and it's just whoop-de-doo, talk to me when they're 41-41. Can't be whoop-de-doo when you 15-15. Something got to give. So, but we were 13-15, so I'll take 15-15. This means it's headed in the right direction.
Dre, over here, you had the ejection in the last game, and obviously it was a real emotional. Do you see this as a carryover from that at all, or
no? You see me playing? I was playing pretty damn. I was moving well, and so no, but it wasn't carryover for me. I thought I was just fine.
Draymond, do you feel like if you were feeling like it was too hot, the situation was just too hot, and you needed to leave the bench? Did you feel like that was a moment of growth or responsibility for it not to get bigger than it was? Or how do you view?
I just thought that was best for me, you know, and everybody. Like, you know, you stay in a hot situation, there's no way to stop it. So I just wanted to remove myself from it.
And then did you want to make sure you came to the podium to talk about it, to address it?
For sure.
Hey, Draymond. Talking about frustration, how do you differentiate between like frustration that's helpful for the team versus frustration that might not be?
I think if your frustration is about doing the right things and everything moving the right direction, it's not going to always be as vanilla as you want it to be, so I think that's how you make sure it's positive, as long as it's directed towards what the main goal is, then everybody can figure it out and you can work through it. If it's not directed at that, then you kind of sink. So what I know is everybody around here want to win. And we have not done that at a high level this year. So we're trying to figure that out.
Did anybody come back and talk to you?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's fine.
In other words, what did you do back there in the moment in between?
Stretch. It was good. I was real loose, and then I got cold.
How would you describe you've talked about it over the years. You've had these with Steve before. Just how would you describe your relationship, however many years in, with Steve?
We've won a lot of championships together. A lot of success. He's had a lot of success as a coach. I've had a lot of success as a player. Those things can never be taken away, so we continue to move forward, figure out what we need to do to win games, and that's the most important thing.
Wow. A man who sounded fairly cool and calm and collected, most likely by design, because Dre's very aware of the perception about him, and the last thing he wants to do is feed that. So good for him to, again, stay calm and collected during that press conference. For the people in the chat saying read between the lines, I agree. I think he made it very clear where the strife is coming from. This is an organization that's very proud. This is an organization who, in their minds, the goal is still a championship, even if a lot of you out there may laugh at that notion. In their mind, that is still the goal. They see their record. It's very important to note at that moment when Steve Kerr called that timeout, the Warriors were down 71-66. And who knows? It could have been something as simple as Dre just snapping at Kerr, going your stupid ass rotations. You're going to make another substitution. You're going to tinker again. Could have been something as simple as that. I don't know. I would love to know what Dre said. But for the people in the chat, by the way, also saying that Dre doesn't like Kerr, you're right. And it's not to say that they despise each other or they hate each other, but these are not two people who hang out during the offseason. This is a situation of two people who understand the relationship has produced a dynasty. So they clearly go with it. Kerr, I think the best way to describe it from an analogous perspective is Dre to Kerr is what Rodman was to Phil Jackson, or to a far lesser extent Bruce Bowen. But Bruce Bowen, no, that I shouldn't even said that. It's just Rodman to Phil is what Dre is to Kerr, where the two head coaches completely understood you don't treat this person the same way you treat everyone else. And you understand the value of this individual. At the same time, again, they're not like close friends. They have a shitload of history together, and they have a legacy together. So it's a complicated dynamic. I would bring the one person waiting in the chat on, Hamza, but it says your device is not connected, so I can't bring you on. Tomorrow we're gonna have Rick Barry join the program, the Hall of Famer, 2 p.m. Pacific time. It'll be our last show before Christmas, and then Christmas Day we'll be doing. We'll have a show with immediately following the Warriors and the Mavericks. Dallas is in town. My guess is between now and tomorrow at 2 p.m. there's going to be a lot more to discuss. Maybe but I'm going to guess at least some things will leak out in terms of a better understanding behind why Dre was upset. But again, my curiosity in all this is, what is Stephen Curry thinking? Because if Steph is looking at this as, Dre, I'm done with you, then I think it's safe to say Dre's gone. I think it's safe to say Dre is a trade asset. But if Steph is looking at Dre like, I need you, you're a vitally important part of this, you're my sidekick till the end, then I don't think he's going anywhere. I think, as ownership has clearly shown that they're going to make decisions to keep Steph happy. That's the primary reason for Steve Kerr being held as unaccountable as he has been his entire tenure with the Golden State Warriors. So we shall see. Dot K in the chat saying Curry is Sweden always. Sweden, or did you mean Switzerland? Or maybe both. I can't remember what Sweden's position was in some of those world wars. I know Switzerland is typically known for being neutral, if that's what you were inferring there. Anyways. Is there any other sound? I thought Stephen Curry spoke to the press. He did. Oh, good. Wait, right? Yeah, he did. We'll listen to Steph as well. I mean, if my new hero Basket Man is going to keep publishing these things, I'll keep playing them. Here is Stephen Curry following tonight's game. I am dying to know. The best ever saying Sweden is usually pretty neutral too. Fair. And let's hear what Stephen Curry had to say. Again, Stephen Curry's stat line tonight. The second half was superb. The first half was forgettable. Put it together, 31 minutes and 9 seconds, 4 of 13 from deep. But again, 4 of 7 in the second half, 0 of 6 in the first half, 26 points, 6 assists. and I personally love seeing the assist numbers go up because, again, Stephen Curry is over 2 assists below his career average this season. So he has not been racking up assists like he normally does. And maybe that has a lot to do with him playing off the ball more or strictly focusing on scoring. I don't know. But regardless, let's hear from Stephen Curry following tonight's dominating win filled with drama as usual. We never do have just a drama-filled night, do we? It's always something. It keeps things interesting, though. So that is the good news. Here is Wardell following tonight's victory. And let's see if he touches on the drama or if he keeps it strictly about basketball.
Steph, what was your view of what happened between Draymond and Steve?
Oh, sorry. Hold on. I ain't seen this yet.
I like that. Hey, shut the F up. Hang on.
Sorry, what'd you say?
What was your view of from what happened with Draymond and Steve?
They're just having a good conversation. kind of for them to talk about, not me.
As the leader of the team, do you think because he left the bench that this will linger more than other episodes that have happened in the past?
I don't think so. I don't know. I know he came up here and talked about it. I haven't had a chance to talk to him, so I'm pretty sure we know how to be professional, though.
Steve called that one of your best game, one of the team's best games. The way you guys came out in the second half, but even some of the shots in the first half, they just didn't fall. But he was very happy with everything. What was sort of your assessment on the game and how other guys came up in the second?
I think our intentions were good on offense to try to move the ball, move bodies, get organized. And to your point, we didn't get discouraged if shots weren't falling. We still played with force on both ends. And, 13 turn. We look at that number as a good indicator of decisive basketball. And I think everybody played confidently with a purpose, meaning if you had a shot, you shoot it. If you got a driving angle, take it. If you don't have anything, swing it. It was a good concerted effort to do that, no matter if shots were falling or not.
How would you describe the mood of this team through 30 games, 15-15?
It's a little up and down, as I'm sure any team that's 500 experiences, where you feel like right now we're excited that we're putting some good efforts together and it's showing up with wins. But again, you don't ever get too ahead of yourself. So just excited for another big game on Christmas Day, and hopefully we can keep it going. So vibes are good right now.
How do you feel about this particular rotation, this substitution pattern where it's pretty much you and Draymond together, and then when you guys are off the court, it's Jimmy and shooting?
I think it's a reflection of trying to put people in position to be successful and doing what we need to do as a team to, have as good of a lineup as we can, knowing guys aren't playing 48 minutes. So it is, I know coach has been tinkering a little bit on the fringes of the rotation and trying to whittle it down where there's much more consistency on a night-to-night basis. And I think he'll continue to try to figure out the right combinations. But the style of, me, Jimmy, and Draymond can play together all the time because we know each other so well. Who those other two guys are, I know he's trying to figure out those the right combinations there. And then I know you want me or Jimmy on the floor at all times, and Jimmy with shooting is kind of reflective of, when he was at his greatest in Miami with that type of style. So we just have to understand what we're trying to do with whoever's on the floor and not think that the same play calls work for, 48 minutes.
Second straight game that you guys took off. Last game, Draymond gets ejected. You guys take off and win the game. You plus 16 afterward. Tonight, it was even bigger advantage for you. Is there an emotional component to when something like that happens, which you guys kind of pick up on? I mean, what's going on that allows you guys to do that when Draymond's out of the picture?
Yeah, there's a sense of urgency when he's not out there because our margin for error goes down, without his presence. So that's the frustrating part about this whole thing is being 15-15 because we feel like we're playing better than your record shows because we can respond. We were resilient. Being able to respond like we have these last two games, does it mean anything long term? I don't know, but it makes it fun because you have adversity, whether it's from the other team or some self-inflicted, and you're able to respond the way that you need to get a win because it matters. And nobody's letting go of the rope, as they say.
Real quick, just hitting the pause button for 1 second. I want to answer a question here. Hamza Kassem writing, do you see the Warriors being realistically a play-in or a playoff team? And I'm really glad you asked that question because The answer is why you don't see me get all excited after a win like tonight. The Warriors beat the shit out of the Magic in the second half. 120-97 the final. They beat them by 23 points. They outscored the Magic in the fourth quarter of this game, 31-14. That's when they really pulled away and sealed this. But when I look at the standings and I see the Warriors still in 8th place, and maybe more importantly, I see who's ahead of them. The team right above them are the Phoenix Suns. And the Warriors just split a pair of games with them, right? Lost one in Phoenix, won one back home. And what they showed in these two Phoenix games is that they're pretty much even, right? Maybe the Warriors are like a smidge better, maybe. But then you look at the top 6 in the West. 6th is Houston. 5th is Minnesota. 4th is the Lakers. 3rd is the Nuggets. 2nd is the Spurs. And we all know the defending world champion OKC Thunder have the best record in the NBA. When did they lose their 3rd game, by the way? It says they're 26-3. I missed that somehow. Was that tonight? We'll go through the scoreboard in just a second. My point is, the 15-15 Warriors are currently 4 games back of Houston. And I don't see a world, I don't see a scenario where the Warriors magically overtake any of the top 6 teams the way Steve Kerr is currently running things. Meaning, if we have, first of all, we have no clue what's going to happen with Kuminga and the trade deadline. Like, so who knows? Maybe the Warriors find some magic and they pull off a trade that brings in Lauri Markkanen without gutting the team, or something comparable to that, an actual trade that moves the needle, right? If they don't do something like that, and they think that this formula Steve Kerr's doing, where GP2 is getting a run as their 6th man, where Podziemski's your 3rd leading, is 3rd on the team in minutes, where Will Richard, coming off a great night, plays just 12 minutes, 57 seconds, where Guy Santos is viewed as just, a player off the bench for very specific scenarios. This is not a winning formula. Not against the elite teams. Can you beat an Orlando Magic team that's missing some of their most important players? Yeah. And the Jalen Suggs thing, in case people wonder, I saw a couple people in the chat tonight going, oh, he's not that good. His Jalen Suggs, what he brings to the table the most is defense. And he would have locked Podziemski down in 2 seconds. He would have made Stephen Curry, instead of being, what was Steph tonight from deep, 4 of 13. That 0 of 6 start, that's not flippant. Jalen Suggs is one of the best defensive guards and wings in the game today. We saw what that De Silva guy did the last time the Warriors played him. 6'8", forward who can drain threes like they're going out of style. And Franz Wagner was also out. My point is, if the Magic had a full lineup tonight, I'm not feeling good about how things turn. And bigger picture, if you keep seeing this Hobbit bullshit against actual elite teams, you're not getting into the top 6. You're not beating Houston. You just saw this team lose to Minnesota the other night. And games like tonight, to me, are fool's gold. You won. That's great. Like, I thought Draymond, what he said was perfect. You won 2 straight. That's a good thing. You keep it going. But you also have to be realistic about the opposition, strength of schedule, the circumstances of the night. Again, tonight, the opponent was missing 3 of their top players, and the Warriors capitalized. That's a damn good thing. But if we're talking big picture, which is what I focus on primarily, for a team like this team is built to either win the whole thing or bust. This is not a team, like, we're not covering the Houston Rockets, right? We're not covering the Minnesota Timberwolves. We're not covering the San Antonio Spurs. We're not covering the Clippers. We're covering the Warriors, who are at the tail end of a dynasty. A team that not that long ago was supposed to easily wipe out the opposition most nights, and have a heavyweight title fight against the other elite teams. Now you have the casuals celebrating like they just won a playoff game, beating a Magic team who had 3 of their best players out. And if Dre was upset with Kerr for this rotational bullshit, I get it. This is not the formula to win a title. This is the formula to make Stephen Curry happy and have him get his points. And maybe you're a slightly above 500 team, a play-in team who gets bounced out and doesn't even make the postseason. That's what this team looks like to me now. This is the team that Steve Kerr is rolling out there night after night. A team that, again, makes Wardell comfortable. And when Wardell is comfortable, yeah, he's going to beat you a lot of nights. But he's also not the same dude he was. And if he's doing it all by himself, you're not beating those top 6 teams. And side note, for the people out there who want Draymond gone, in case you forgot those 2 feel-good wins earlier in the season against the Spurs, where they needed this guy to pour in 49 and 46 in those 2 games to win, what the Warriors also needed was Draymond Green playing elite defense on Victor Wembanyama to barely pull those 2 games out. And now you want him gone. So Wemby can just feast, or any other big can feast for that matter. Because as feel good of a story as Quentin Post has been, as good as Trace Jackson Davis, I think, is, they're not at that level. Okay, they're not at the level of the elite bigs in this game. And if you don't have Draymond against any of those top 6 teams, forget about it. I mean, it better be a trade for Giannis or something very comparable to that. And I don't know if that's even realistic. I don't know. So I hope I answered your question, Hamza Kassem. And I hope for the people going out there like, man, why are you always so negative, Cy? It's like, I'm not trying to be. I hate being negative. When I'm not doing this show, I'm usually just chilling with the pup, or if I'm with friends, we're having a damn good time. But this Warriors team, it's borderline depressing watching what Steve Kerr does to this shit on a night-by-night basis. I don't know how it doesn't get to you, honestly, watching Steve Kerr and his Lollipop Guild doing what they can to with a singular focus of Steph being comfortable out there. It's wild shit, man. And that's just how I see it. Let's listen to the rest of Stephen Curry here. We'll do the scoreboard and wrap it up.
Is it conceivable too that because you guys didn't anticipate being at 500 this deep into the season, that there's also sort of a frustration that simmers, and maybe this last couple of games is sort of indicative of that? Everybody's got to be a little frustrated, I would think.
Yeah, but that frustration has led to 2 wins. So it's unfortunate that we're up here after, considering where we've been, 2-game win streak and protecting our home court, that the vibes of the questions are a little bit more negative than they should be, because I get why you're asking them. But like I said, downstairs right now, the DJ's got a good playlist going. Guys are getting their work in. We're having a good time because we're winning.
Hello, Steph. Buddy Hield got a.
Hold on. Are you winning? I mean, yes, you won tonight. You won the last game against Phoenix, but you're 500, so you're winning and you're losing equally. That's why the vibe is off, Steph. Come on, man. What's going on here? I what I'm hearing from Steph and Steve Kerr is just resignation. That's what I hear. I hear 2 people who are trying to send a message of, be happy with what we've done. This is the final chapter, and don't expect jack shit. Like, that's the message I'm hearing. And I can say this safely. Joe Lacob does not want that messaging. And this is adding to the strife. I don't think Draymond Green wants that messaging. And that's adding to the strife. They're a 500 team. That's why people are acting like this. Not to mention Draymond Green stormed off in the middle of the game after arguing with your coach. I don't think that's ever happened before. Not in the middle of the game anyways, not to my recollection.
Pretty struggle this season. So how much important he got 3 points on the court tonight?
You love to see one go in for him, knowing he, the last 2 games he's been out of the rotation. But we trust and know Buddy's, again, a professional. He gets his work in. He takes care of himself. He's going to stay mentally locked in because he knows it can come back to him, and he has to be ready for when it does. So it's our job to encourage him. It's his job to, keep himself ready.
And about your shoe selection, any good idea for your next game, the Christmas?
I have some great ideas.
Steph, plus minus has always been kind of a big number for BP, plus 36 tonight. Where did you feel his impact most, and when do you feel he's at his best?
Yeah, he's such a unique player because he has an ability to connect lineups. You don't even really know what position he plays. He just tries to make winning plays. I think tonight it was just hustle. It was energy. It was I'm gonna try to impact the game whether shots are falling or not. Fly around. He got 2 loose balls, diving on the floor, offensive rebounds. So, or 8 offensive rebounds. It was just his motor. And as a young guy, we need that.
Frustration is a word that's being thrown around a lot. What goes into channeling that frustration into wins? Like what's being said, what's being done by you guys?
Experience and frustration without getting rattled. There's a difference there. Like you can't panic, you can't start turning on each other. I think most of our conversations in the huddles and the locker room have been positive, trying to figure it out as opposed to, pointing fingers and doing all that type stuff. So we have to maintain that whether we win or lose.
When you look at a game like this where first half, you were looking for your shot, and second half it just seemed to click. Did you change something at halftime, or did it was just a matter of the way it played out?
Yeah, again, that's built off of experience, knowing if your process is right, that you don't necessarily, you can get upset or start to tinker a little bit, but it's not really results based. I know getting my feet underneath me, get to my spots, the shots I was taking, I was pretty confident in them. Come out in the second half, take the same shots, and whether they go in or not, it's a law of averages. Hopefully, will take over.
I think they all went in the third quarter. So
yes, they did. We needed them.
All right, that's Stephen Curry, and this is where I'm gonna disagree with Smoke Raider, and I'll bring James on. We'll do the scoreboard and wrap it up. Smoke Raider saying, once JK is gone, maybe the mojo and mood of the team changes. It depends entirely on who he's traded for. The biggest issue with this team, and I'm a broken record saying this, but Steve Kerr's a broken record with his rotation. So until one thing changes, the other won't. And it's play the best players. Just play the best players on the team. Your roster is 1 through 15 or 14, however many players you got. A common sense coach will give minutes in order of talent. This coach doesn't. So whether it's JK, whether it's Will Richard, whether it's Seth Curry, the Seth Curry part, I know he was out tonight with injury, but there were games where he was not. And those DNPs are just baffling. Buddy Hield is getting DNPs now. We haven't even talked about that once. I mean, I guess he played the very end tonight in garbage time, but you get what I'm saying. He's out of the rotation now. But that should have never happened to begin with. I mean, and that to me is all this is. It's just play the best players. And in case you're wondering, what do you mean by that? I'll spell it out for you again. Jimmy, Dre, Steph, your 3 best players. Who's your 4th best player on this team? It ain't Brandon Podziemski. Yet Podziemski gets more minutes than Draymond Green. Make that make sense. It ain't GP2. Yet GP2's your 6th man. Make that make sense. Will Richard is arguably the biggest feel-good story on this team. So why was he getting DNPs, and why after a great night does he only get 12 minutes and 57 seconds? Make that make sense. DeAnthony Melton, who has not been shooting the ball well. Tonight, it continues. Just 1 of 6 from deep. I'm sorry, 1 of 6 from the field, 0 of 2 from deep. But he's at least an elite defensive player. And that shot will get figured out. But he played 15 minutes and 30 seconds tonight, while Brandon Podziemski played 27 minutes and 30 seconds. Play the best players. Everything else will fall into place. I do firmly believe that. Like, why did Pat Spencer play just 12 minutes? Why is Brandon Podziemski getting well over double the minutes of Pat Spencer, who I swear it was just 2 weeks ago? Those wins over the Bulls and the Cavs. Remember that you folks were all feeling amazing about? And Pat Spencer was arguably the best player in that win over the Bulls. And everyone's like, we need Pat. And Steve Kerr saying mother effer publicly. And what happened after that? We had one game where Spencer got real minutes, and then it's back to this shit. It isn't a Kuminga thing. It's a Kerr has faith and thinks the wrong players is a fit thing. No other coach in the game does this shit. James, I don't know if you've been here before, but welcome to the show.
Man, I watch your show all the time. Can you hear me good? Good. Yes, man.
No,
can you hear me?
Did you ask a question? I apologize.
No, I was just saying I watch your show all of the time. Every
Thank
time
you.
the game ends, I come right in on your show.
Thank you, brother.
And I'm a fan.
Thank you.
I'm a fan all the way across country, Nashville, Tennessee.
I love Nashville, Tennessee, by the way.
So yeah, man, I just want to come in and say that I agree with you on a lot of things that you say.
What don't you agree with?
But,
bring it. Let's do it.
Okay, so this Draymond situation has been terrible for not just tonight, but it's been really lingering for some years now.
Okay.
Draymond has situations where he cannot control his attitude, his temper, and it affects the team not only with emotion, but also in wins. Because like they say, we need him out there. So when he's not out there, then we gotta, do more than what normally we do. So it's hard on the team. Now, another thing that Draymond has done. Now, I know he only had 1 turnover for tonight. Yes, I'll give him that. But if you look back, and I hate to say this because the number 2 people, the highest people to turn over the ball is Draymond and Steph. So we'll take Steph out of the equation because we say, Steph gives us these 48, point games. So we not gonna worry about his turnover. Draymond don't give us those points. So when he has those 5 turnover games, they are costly. And if you go back, those turnovers that he made when he's facilitating the ball lead to points. And those points end up having us lose the game. Draymond has cost us more games than he has won. If we're going on turnovers alone, if we just talk about turnovers alone, Draymond has cost us a lot more games than he's won in this season, probably in last season. Because again, it's been some games where his step is not as quick as it used to be. Now, believe me, it's tough for me to say this because I really, really, really like Draymond.
I hear you. Yeah.
But what I don't like about Draymond is that he is a 36-year-old man that cannot contain his attitude, and he cries like a baby. Those times that he's whining to the refs, the ball is all the way down to the court, and they're shooting. You're the defensive.
Look, James, zero pushback on everything you're saying because you're right. There's a lot of possessions like that where he'll pout, right?
Yes.
He'll be upset, and then they're just still playing, and he's just standing here yelling at a ref while the game's going. I feel you on all of that, man. I just wanted to tell you that I don't think you're crazy saying this.
No, I'm just, I'm fed up, man. I'm at a point where I'm fed up. Everything you say about like the rotations, Kerr has mucked up the rotations. We know that. I agree with that. Kerr has not done his, and even Kerr agrees with that. If we're gonna go off of that, but Kerr, we'll say that Kerr has cost us some games because he's doing all of these three guard lineups, putting in the little guys when we need some type of, height, and we don't really have some. We don't really have none, but Trace and Quentin Post, and he has yet to really try to put them in together to see what they can do. And that would be a great, idea for him to do that. I think they did that one time. But if he would try to do that, that I think that would be much help. Now, if we could get, we could get Giannis, put a, what I'm saying, a package together so we can get Giannis. Man, I'm putting Draymond in that package.
Oh yeah, no one is saying the opposite of that. I promise you. Have you met or have you seen or heard anywhere anybody saying hell no to Draymond being a deal breaker?
No,
or hell
no.
yes to that? You follow what I'm saying, right?
Right, yeah,
there's
right.
no one saying like Dre would hold up that trade. I think it's a safe
Right.
assumption to make that if that's the one piece that could make a Giannis trade a reality, the Warriors would do that without hesitation.
Right.
Yeah.
We,
The
we,
question is
we,
whether,
we've had
yeah.
some, we've had some unfortunate situations, for this season. Now, let me give you a little pushback on how you say, the teams that, are out of their players, their top players. Something that's the way of the NBA. Injuries, sickness, personal
I get it.
reasons. They just not in the game. And if we win, shit, we in it. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. If
I
we
don't care.
we win because they out, then we win. That's like last year. Steph got injured. What if he would not have gotten injured? You see what I'm saying? We
Yeah, I do.
probably would. I think we would have won the whole damn thing. Shoot.
But just adding to that, James, I feel like if Steve Kerr didn't play that bullshit
Yes.
DNP game with Kuminga,
Yes.
and if
Yes.
Kuminga had been a part of that rotation from the moment he got healthy again, I think they also win the championship. That's where I get
agree.
frustrated. And it's not that complicated to find that kid minutes, right? It's not.
It's not.
Unless you're Steve Kerr. And look, I'm not saying it's bad that they won. I'm not pretending I'm not trying to diminish the win. It's just look, when you're covering a team, like the expectations play a huge role in this, right? So it depends on the expectations. If the expectations for the Golden State Warriors was not a 5th championship, I'd 100% agree with you. If this was almost any other team in the NBA, shit, if this was the Knicks that we were covering, I'd be with you. But this is a dynasty known as the Golden State Warriors. And until that dynasty's over and the expectations are going from you have Steph, you're trying to win a championship, to you have who knows. And if you make the playoffs, you're stoked. Like so it's gotta be like measured and there's gotta be some perspective. And yeah, it's good that they beat the Magic. And I'm all for that. But this is also, I mean, are they winning a championship here, or is it time to step up on that?
We're in a hard spot right now,
Yeah.
and
Yes,
nobody likes it, man. It's painful because, man, sometimes when I watch these games, I hate to watch these games. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to watch it. And I've said this year, because last year, man, I used to turn the game off at a certain point. When I got frustrated, I can't watch the ending. But this year, I said I'm gonna watch it till the end, regardless if they win or lose. But it just hurts my heart, man, to watch some of these games. And like we 15-15, man.
I know, man.
We're better than that, man. We're
I
better
know.
than that. I'm a Warriors fan. I'm a Steph Curry fan. I'm actually, and the thing about it too, man, they got rid of Clay. So the three-head monster, you know what I'm saying, ain't no more. Now they got Jimmy Butler in here. Jimmy Butler is just now starting to do what he needs to do, because he wasn't doing it at first. He wasn't doing it at first. He was sitting back, shooting up three times. Man, come on, 3 attempts, 11 attempts. Man, get out of here for that money we giving you. You know what I'm saying? So,
and Jimmy,
I don't know. I'm here.
Jimmy, by the way, played 29 minutes, 30 seconds tonight. You brought up the field goal attempts, which some people have echoed those sentiments as being a gripe of Jimmy, and I get it. Jimmy's pushback to that has been, well, I'm not getting the ball enough for these shot attempts. Tonight, he only had 9, but still scored 21 points because he also had 7 free throw attempts, made 6 of those. I thought he was fine tonight, man. Look, Jimmy Butler has and look, Jimmy Butler has never been someone who dominates the regular season. That's never been what he's known for. Like, you've never seen Jimmy Butler's name among the scoring leaders in the NBA. Like he might have an outburst here and there, but this is how he rolls, man. Like Jimmy Butler to me is a glorified Andre Iguodala, meaning he does the things that Iguodala used to do for this team. But you can also count on him for about 20 points a night or something close to that, right? He can also score you buckets, but he's facilitating as much as anything else. He's playing defense as much as anything else. Somehow leading the team in 3-point shooting. He was made his 1 attempt tonight. It's like you said, dude. This whole thing is a tough situation, and I don't know what else to say about that, James.
Man, I know. I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel when you went. I feel that to the core, man. I felt you when I swear, because I'm right there too, man. When you said, I am right there with you.
And the truth has been, all of your pushbacks on me, like I'm not pushing back. I feel you. It's just like it's just hard to get excited when you're beating teams like the Magic tonight. It's just for me. Right. I get some people like will take any win and it's like yay, but for me it's like, okay, you beat a shorthanded Magic team. That's good. You blew them out. That's good, but you're 15-15. And I'm looking at. Right. I guess for me, ultimately, like I'm looking at those top 6 teams in the West, and you're gonna have to beat 2 or 3 of those in the postseason. Like pretty much no matter what, maybe 3. And right now, the way Steve Kerr is running this team, I don't see how the Warriors have a shot. I don't, and I don't think a win over the Magic makes any difference in terms of their postseason goals. I guess that's why I'm not getting super excited about a game like tonight, because you beat the Magic, great. How you beat them tonight, you're not beating any of the top 6 the way you beat Orlando tonight. Do you agree with that or no?
No, I agree with that.
So that's my reservation. And maybe as a host of the program, maybe I should be more upbeat, and that's my bad if that's what's going on.
No, you're the host.
But maybe I should be more upbeat. Maybe I should be. Maybe maybe it is my bad that I'm as negative as I am. It's just I see this thing and I'm trying to be real about it, and it's hard to be like all cheerful and like yay and rah rah, and it's just hard, man. I can't. I don't have it in me to be all pumped up about this shit, man. Like I need to, like I want to see the best players play. That's all I want, and I cannot believe that that's asking for too much from this coach, but it is. It's crazy.
I mean, Kerr has his favorites. We all know that, so it's just. It's like you said, either Kerr has got to get out of there, Joe Lacob is going to do something. If he's not, then Steve Kerr does need to, play the right players. He needs to play the right players. And there's nothing we can do about it except look at his butt play the wrong players.
Did you, by the way, and we'll bring Chris from Florida on, and then if the closer shows up, great. If not, whatever. But did you feel the same level of gratification I did when you watched I don't know if you saw the clip, which has been making the rounds. And you know what? I can play this right here because it's not actual NBA footage. So I think I can get away with playing this clip on the show tonight. I hope I can. So for those watching on the YouTube channel, this at least leading up to the game ending is the best version that I've seen of the back and forth. And there might be better clips out there now. I don't know, because I go live the moment the game ends. But for the podcast audience, I apologize. There isn't much I can say or do about this. It's a visual thing. But this is what happened. This was the incident. And then the question I was going to ask you, James, is did you feel some gratification? Because I feel like what Draymond did is what at least us sane folk, want to do with Steve Kerr, and that's give him a piece of our business, give him a piece of our mind. And Draymond actually did it. Actually, it felt good. There was a little like relief that came out of that. This was the clip. And again, this is from a Twitter user named Clipside. I don't know where they got it from. I'm guessing one of the fans in the stands uploaded this, but this was the altercation. And then Draymond Green, you see him just get up and say, I'm out. And so that was the clip. And again, if you couldn't see it, I'll try to describe it as best as possible. Basically, the timeout's called the moment Steve Kerr gets on just crouches down like in a catcher position to give his ATO and tell the team whatever it is he wants to tell them. A back and forth started between him and Draymond Green. You see Steve Kerr getting a little animated. The clip has the back of Draymond's head. The two things that really stuck out to me, besides the obvious, Steph is sitting to the left of Draymond. If you're looking at it from behind Dre, if you're looking at it where you're looking at Dre, then Steph would be at his right. And Steph is just kind of sitting there doing nothing. Just sit. I'm guessing he just was watching going, I don't want any part of this. Very awkward. And then Moses Moody was playing peacemaker a couple times, got up, tried to pat Draymond on the chest, calming him down. But again, I know this may sound weird to a lot of you, but kudos to Dre for at least saying something, because Kerr is so sheltered. If Dre doesn't say it, I don't think he ever hears it. Like there's a very strong possibility, and James, and for everybody, this might be true. This might not be something that I'm exaggerating or being hyperbolic saying. Steve Kerr might not be aware of how frustrated people are. Steve Kerr might not be aware of the perception of this Hobbit ball bullshit. Maybe he is. I don't know. But don't be surprised, because I've met a lot of people in positions of power like him who just intentionally shield all the noise out. So they have no idea how people are feeling. And if that's the case, props to Draymond Green for saying something. He might get traded afterwards, but I felt a little relief here seeing Dre actually speak up. It was nice. And maybe I'm an asshole saying that, and apologies if I am. James, any final thoughts?
So my final thought is this: the only thing I'll give you pushback on is, even if you got some bull crap between them going on the sidelines, it's your duty as a leader of the team to eat that shit, stay on the sidelines with your team. Don't be a little baby. Don't be a little 2-year-old child and walk away, because he said on the podium that he didn't abandon his team, but he did. He abandoned his team, went to the locker room, undressed, and then just so happened to come back.
That was the unprofessional part. I agree. Like if he had just said his piece and then just shipped off to playing, then I would have just given a tip of the cat to Dre. But you're right. He did quit on his team after that, and then made it sound like he didn't because he came back in street clothes. Dude, you quit on your team.
He quit on. Yeah. And that's my only pushback, man. That's the reason why I say Draymond is, his antics has gotten to the point where, they need to think about doing something, or either reduce his minutes. And I know he probably gonna get mad at that, but if you reduce it, he reduced his minute for Jonathan Kuminga last year, but ain't nobody can reduce him for this.
Yeah,
ain't nobody could put in for him since Jonathan ain't playing. But his minutes does need to be reduced, man. He needs to be. There's a collar that needs to be put on that dog.
I went to before I let you go, Nashville, Tennessee, awesome city. I'm sure it's a victim of gentrification, like most cities in this country, but still an awesome place. I've been there twice. The first time was for a wedding in Alabama, and that was a long ass time ago. And we spent our night. James, are you familiar with a place called the Springwater Supper Club?
No, I'm not.
It was one of our buddies, Moses Jensen, who lives in Austin now. Mo, what's up? And he did the research. He wanted to find the diviest dive bar in Nashville, and that's what he came up with. And we had the time of our lives, man. And that's why I asked you if you knew where that place was. The second time I went with like my then wife, and and we did the more touristy shit. I love your city, brother. It's a great place.
I'll tell you this. I'm a native of Nashville, so I don't do the touristy stuff. You know, I've been here for 48 years. So me going downtown, me looking at bar, you know, trying to go find a bar, that's really not what the natives do.
Fair enough.
We
Fair
stay
enough.
away from that.
And it snows there. I experienced that firsthand.
Yes.
It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
often, but you get snow in Nashville. It's just
Oh
crazy.
yes, we do.
It'd be hot
But
as
man,
shit when it snows.
I really appreciate you. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, man.
What you do.
Thanks
You
for
know,
feeling
your shows
comfortable enough
are
to come
your
on here and
shows are
push
good.
back, dude. I really appreciate you for that, because I don't want to make people ever feel like they should be uncomfortable to, God forbid, have a different opinion than me. I mean, I'm not perfect. So thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Hey man, you have a great night. I really appreciate you again for
You too.
letting me come on and talk to you and you talking to me about the team that we both love, man.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
really both love, and that's really what it is, man. It's
How
our
did you
love
become a
for this
Warriors
team.
fan though in Nashville? Like shouldn't the Grizzlies be your team?
Man, hell no. But man, it was back when they won the first championship, man. I kept
I
on
hear you.
seeing Steph knock these threes down. I'm like, who is that dude? And man, I just fell in love with the team. I fell in love with Steph first. And I was just like, who is that dude that's, shooting all these threes like that? So that was the year that I really fell in love with the team.
And look at Dot K with your dirty mind. How dare you be putting the word snow in quotes? I'm referring to the geological natural occurrence that depends on the topography of a region in order for everything to line up beautifully and have those white flakes lined up on a table. Coming off out of clouds in the sky. I'm kidding. Look, no judgment either way, but I was referring to the actual real snow, like the stuff you can ski or snowboard on with your dirty mind there. But I appreciate the humor. And James, I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, man.
All right, brother. Well, and I hope dude, come back on Christmas. We're gonna do a show.
Hey,
Christmas Day, man.
I'm always here. I'm always
I love
look when this. I'm gonna tell you this. As soon as the game ends, I don't even wait for them to do their interviews or anything like that, because I can catch it back on YouTube. As soon as the game ends, man, I'm at your show.
I love it. Thank you, James. I really do appreciate you, brother. Have a great night. Hope to see you again. You were awesome. Chris in Florida, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How you doing? You can hear me okay?
All right, man. I can hear you loud and clear. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, I second what James was saying there. I come right to the show.
Thank you, brother.
You're cooking tonight, man. I love how you're showing the full clips now. That's what I would be doing anyway. I would be trying to find that.
I didn't know like it was, and I'm sorry for forgetting who originally introduced me to that. It was someone in YouTube, or not on YouTube, in our chat like a couple weeks ago, and they brought up this guy Basket Man, and dude, Basket Man, love you, thank you, because he's the one posting those clips. The Warriors do it sometimes too, like really fast, and I'm sure there's some other YouTube accounts that do it too. But yeah, I mean, as long as Basket Man is doing that, we'll play them. I love it.
Yeah, I was looking for other clips for it as well. And I think people are kind of doing a little bit faster, and you don't got to mess with the cell phone camera thing. You know what I mean? So it's just like you're getting like the actual feed on there. So
yeah, exactly. And the audio's good. And by the way, Lauren Doan, one of my favorite people on the planet, joining us from, I think, Northern England, I believe, is where she's based. A huge Warriors fan. Laura, great to see you. Chris, what's on your mind, brother? Did you listen to another former radio colleague of mine talk shit? I'm kidding. I'm teasing. Larry and I are good. Funny thing, Chris, like you were the catalyst for him and I think, having a long needed conversation. Awesome. And we're going to be doing some dual streams after the new year. So appreciate you, because thanks to you, we actually had a very real, honest back and forth, man, that I think was needed between two friends of 25 years. So thank you.
That warms my heart, because that was my intention. I was defending you, but I also like your guys' live stream together. So that really warms my heart that it worked out that way.
Yeah, we're back. We're going to be back soon. Yeah.
I was feeling like that Jalen Rose quote, if you get jammed up, don't mention my name. And I certainly wasn't trying to come on and troll like my first time out. I'm like, I don't want to be that, So, I'm still processing. What's that?
No, I didn't say anything. I'm just laughing. You're good.
I'm still processing this win, like it's kind of listening to what you said. You kind of dropped some bombs with the breaking news. My feed cut out at that moment. Was that about how that email in part indicated that Lacob had Kuminga's back and he loves Kuminga?
Yes. Okay. Like basically the root of that email I heard multiple very trusted sources confirming this to me, and I wasn't even seeking it out. They came to me and they're like, "Dude, do you want to know what that was about?" Yeah, like yes. What was that about? I'm all ears. And he's just Lacob is not happy about the Kuminga usage. Like tonight, him getting a DNP, Joe's not happy. He's not liking these DNPs, and the fact that he's not happy with them is a little alarming because the way Kerr treats Kuminga, you would think he's gone, like all but certain DNP repeatedly, the relationship is frayed, it's over. But then you hear Joe, who loves the kid. I don't know what's going to happen, man. It's kind of crazy. I kind of wish he would get traded at this point because this is doing nobody any good.
Right. Yeah,
Crazy.
exactly.
What do you think about it?
Just see what you say. What do I think? I mean, I'd love to see him go free. My other team is the Miami Heat. I'd love to see him on the Heat with the innovative way they're playing that offense, but I don't know who the Heat would have to give up to get him because now, Wiggins is flourishing over there in that system. He's playing nice. It's very quick. So, I'm glad you brought up Kuminga because,
Latasha in her chat, by the way, saying it was two sources, saying my sources lied to me. Okay. No, I'm guessing Latasha just does not like hearing that. There is a lot of people who are dying for Kuminga to get traded off this team with the delusion that that's going to magically fix everything. It depends largely on who they get for him. That's going to clearly make, it's going to decide whether or not that's a good decision, is who can you get for him? Again, Lauri Markkanen seems to be the only player in this market. If you have other suggestions or ideas, anybody, not just you, Chris, throw it out there. I mean, I'll happily talk trades, but to me, the only guy out there who's realistic, who can move the needle, who Steve Kerr would sign off on in terms of giving him a real role, a trusted role, is Lauri Markkanen, man. I don't know who else.
Who would they give up for Markkanen?
What's up?
Who would they give up to get Markkanen? Is Draymond in the mix now?
Well, let's get the trade machine out.
Okay.
Let me get the trade machine out because I don't know. That's a good question. Again, we had all those loose reports from about a year and change ago that supposedly Brandon Pajemski was the holdup, which, if true, is comedy. I mean, if that really was what held it up, man, the Warriors blew it. But something tells me that the Jazz also wanted a buttload of picks and they were being greedy about it. Anyways, let's open up the trade machine right now and see how the Warriors and the Jazz can make some magic where we can get Lowry. And in case you folks out there are unfamiliar with how to properly enunciate Lauri Markkanen's name, just think back to the movie Bad Boys with Will Smith and Martin Lawrence, where he goes, Mike Lowry, and that's literally how you pronounce his first name. It's Lauri Markkanen, although it's because he's Finnish and not because of a movie character's name. Anyways, Warriors and Utah Jazz. And we'll just try to make it a two-team trade. Keep it simple. Start trade. Let's zoom in a little bit so you can see this maybe better. I hope you can. All right. So let's go to Utah first. Let me close all these stupid ads. Okay, Utah Jazz. There's only one dude that is on everyone's mind. Chris, does Lauri Markkanen even excite you?
Well, I mean, when we were looking at that before, he was kind of injury prone. I mean, that was one of the knocks against him. He wasn't finishing seasons. So it's kind of like
true. That is true.
Is AD on the trade block? Does that work? Like getting Clay and AD for like Kuminga and Trey or something like that.
The only trade that I've been able to make work with Dallas is in this really funky spot where them making trades is damn difficult. The only trade I've been able to make work with Dallas using the trade machine is Jimmy Butler for Anthony Davis straight up. Everything else, because they make almost the exact to the dollar salaries, so they match. Every other trade I've ever tried involving Dallas has failed. I can't make a trade work between these two teams, with the exception of Jimmy for AD. So if anyone out there has some magic solution for making a trade work with Dallas, I'm all ears, but I can make it work. Now, in regards to Utah, let's say for the sake of argument, it's Kuminga. Let's get Pajemski out of here. I just want to feel good about this. So let's get Pajemski gone.
It's not gonna happen.
I know. I'm wishful thinking. Moses. Well, I don't know. There was a report that came out recently by someone pretty credible who said that Brandon Podziemski was available. And I'm going to pray that that's true. So this trade currently fails. Okay, so I got to give up a little more here. I need to give up another 10 million. So Buddy Hield. I think realistically you're going to have to include Dre. Ooh, no. This worked. What do you think about this trade? Now you're going to have to include, I'm guessing, and this is where we could talk about what the fair amount of compensation with draft picks would entail, because it's not going to work with just Kuminga, Moody, and Podziemski. Technically it would, though. And Buddy Hield. I apologize. So Kuminga, Moody, Buddy, Podziemski for Lowry works. What do you think about that? What do you think?
Would Utah want to do that, or they need picks?
What's up?
Would Utah want to do that, or do they need picks also?
They would need picks, and that's where the question is: like, would one be enough? Would it have to be two? What's the line? Like, what is Joe willing to give up? Yadamin in our chat's adding that Chris Haynes. I saw this report as well too, and Chris Haynes is very trustworthy. Chris, his brother Mark, by the way, is the one who joins me every Tuesday. Not every Tuesday when we can make it happen. The I-80 crossover. That's Chris's brother Mark. Chris Haynes reporting that the Warriors are targeting an athletic big, including Nick Claxton, Daniel Gafford, or Robert Williams. I saw that too. Who knows how much truth there is to that? It's important to note that when he's getting that report and publishing it, he's getting that information from the agents. And I don't know how much the agents would know. I'm confident that with all these leaks, like none of them are involving Joe Lacob or Mike Dunleavy Jr., which is why I always take these with a grain of salt. I'm also confident Danny Ainge isn't leaking jack shit to the press. So all of these reports come from the agents, and they don't always know everything. Sometimes they're leaking information because they have an agenda. With that said, though, it's true. And honestly, between those three, if it is Nick Claxton, Gafford, or Robert Williams, I'm going Robert Williams, man. That's the one of those three that I like the most. Daniel Gafford, again, I don't know how you get him back in a trade. Nick Claxton makes $20 million a year, and Brooklyn sucks balls. So you're left. To me, Robert Williams is if you are gonna do this, and the asking price is, let's say, Moody and Podziemski, I'm going Robert Williams, but that's just me. And maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. But Lauri Markkanen is who moves the needle for me more than anything else. What do you think about all that, Chris?
Yeah. So you were saying that's what's that? Yeah. So you're well. Yeah, I think I'm just struggling to accept, this JK being done. You think you said earlier that you thought maybe Draymond yelling, you're hoping could be about let's play JK or something like that?
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I really wish, the old adage, right? Being a fly on the wall. Like, I really wish we knew what Draymond specifically yelled at Kerr, because I don't think it's Kuminga. My guess would be is Kerr was probably giving some speech about, we got to lower turnovers, we got to be more aggressive, just doing his typical coach speak with cliches. And Draymond probably was like, "F that shit. That's all you say. That's all you tell us to do. It's all working." Like, that's my guess for how that went down. And it was just a bunch just passion and emotion taking over more than anything else. But I could also be wrong, man. I wasn't there. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm just still processing this win. I get like a dopamine spike from just seeing Will Richards out there, from seeing Guy out there right now.
It's fun to watch, right? I love Will Richard, dude.
I'll take it. And it's
the thrill, dude. I mean, in a perfect world, Will the Thrill's getting minutes. Johnny Kuminga's getting minutes. I like Moses Moody where he's at. I don't even have criticism about the starting five. I think you could do better, but you could also do a hell of a lot worse. So keep the starting five. But I am confident with this opinion, which is, and again, finally, Buddy Hield is on the bench. Finally, took nearly 30 goddamn games for that to happen. But you need to add GP2 and you need to add Brandon Podziemski, because you have better players on this team, plain and simple, who deserve those minutes if you want to be a serious team. Will Richard deserves those minutes. Jonathan Kuminga deserves those minutes. DeAnthony Melton deserves those minutes. And again, the Melton sell might be tough for you right now because he's shooting awful, but defensively, he still gives you way more than what Brandon Podziemski ever could. And then when Seth is healthy, I want to see Seth Curry minutes. That's who should be playing. Guy Santos rounds it out. I want Guy Santos playing. That's like 11 dudes right there. We haven't even mentioned LJ Cryer's name in at least a week or two. Pat Spencer's already forgotten. That's how crazy the Steve Kerr era is. It was 2 weeks ago. This chat was lit up with Pat Spencer fans. The stash is loose, and no one's talking about him anymore. He's not even on people's brain anymore. That's how maddening this shit is, dude. Who knows what Dre said though? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, if Kerr, like I said before, created this monster in pods where he's got this confidence and he's going to be clutch, and clutch is underrated in this league, then okay. But I'm just in denial about the JK because I just think he's going to be a star, and it would just be, awesome to see him getting this run. And like I said, there was about 4 minutes left in the game. They were up by 17. It was garbage time, and you still didn't have Will, Richard, Santos. That's your time to try some of these lineups, see how they can do. Again, to my point about wishing I could take over Steve Kerr's consciousness, I'd just be like, he just goes, hey, JK, you're in, we're going to run plays for you. We're going to see what can happen, and just, play him with Steph. And, you could kind of wean the minutes out that way by trying to see what you have when you have a lead. But we're always fighting. We're always in clutch games. We're never having a lead. So you don't get Will Richard to come in garbage time. There is no garbage time. And then he doesn't want to play people in garbage time because he's like, I can't play people unless they've already been playing in the game, So, I hope that is Lacob having his back. And I hope, Lil Easy was talking about, really Easy was talking about the WWE aspect of the NBA, and greatest of, conspiracy theories, I look at it as like, if it's a simulation, they're just giving us a slow drip of what we want. But that's me in denial. There's like, hey, you like Will Richard? We're going to slowly give you. Now we're giving you Will Richard. Oh, here comes JK now. We didn't trade him. And now he's going to break out. Like, oh my God, look at this. We're a championship team because we have championship pedigree mixed with studs, So, but we'll see what happens here. And, it's just kind of waiting it out. It's kind of frustrating. A little kind of sad to see him on the bench, Kuminga, but we'll see.
I don't think he's that bummed. He's kind of accepted it. So it's at least he's not as wigged out about it as he was a year or two ago. He got the contract. So good news is he's content and accepting whatever his fate is. I don't know what that fate is though. I don't think anyone knows right now. I'm fascinated to know what Joe Lacob thinks in terms of what to do at the trade deadline. Like, I don't know if they're going to look for like a simple fix where they don't have to give up too much and they can keep Kuminga. Because here's what I do know with certainty. Joe Lacob is thinking about the future. He's not just like focused on how do we make this season work out best. Like, he's also thinking about next year. And that's where with all these Jonathan Kuminga trade proposals, you have to keep that in mind. Like, whoever you get back for Kuminga, can that person excite you next season, right? What's the upside there? Which is why, like, for the people out there who want Andrew Wiggins to come back for Kuminga in a hypothetical trade, that the biggest reason why I don't think that's a reality is Wiggins. If you trade for Wiggins and that trade results in you being a play-in team, what the hell are you doing next year?
Right.
So that's why I don't think a player like Wiggins is realistic. There are absolutely zero guarantees or assurances that will magically make your team a sudden contender. And you've just given up one of your young prospects for a 30-year-old who is inconsistent, who every team he's on wants to trade him. I just don't think that's real. I don't think that's going to happen, even though some people want
and I love this new role for Buddy Hield too, and he's a veteran. He's showing you can be on the bench. I loved Steph Curry gave him like a shoulder rub. Everybody loves him.
Good.
Yeah, so his energy is going to stay good, and then it can kind of show people like Kuminga, hey, everybody's kind of getting a DMP. We're sort of figuring this out. And then Julian Bashir made that brilliant point last time about Will Richard could teach Jonathan Kuminga how to cut and how to play like him, and how that would be good for morale. So it would be amazing if they're kind of thinking, listen, we're going to need something really good to make a trade, and we think we can get all these players on and just get through Steve Kerr's madness right now. And, Draymond yelling at him, Jimmy yelling at him, Lacob in the background, and eventually they're going to try to integrate all the pieces they have. That would be, a very hopeful message. So seeing Will Richard more and Guy and all that tonight, that was good seeing that. So And TJD.
Agreed. I'm always happy when Guy Santos plays. Better that Will Richard got 12 minutes than 0 minutes. At least that's encouraging. You're absolutely right. That is good news. And I can't help but share this really quickly. I was goofing around last night or 2 nights ago because I brought up Lumberg from Office Space on this program, and it made me think of how that would work with Lumberg. And so I actually got the audio and just made this quick little 10-second thing here. Just take a look and enjoy or not.
What's happening? I'm gonna need you to go in and come in tomorrow. Yeah, you apparently didn't put one of the new cover sheets on your TPS reports. So if you could be here around 9, that would be great. Okay.
Yeah, Jonathan, you did really good on passing to the other players today. And
I would think it's more like, Jonathan, you're just not cutting hard enough, and you're just not setting enough screens for Steph. If you could do more of that, that'd be great. Okay.
So just come to practice scrimmage with the Santa Clara team a little bit more. Okay, just come in on Saturday for me.
That would be great.
Yeah. Oh man!
All right, Chris, have a great night, brother. I want to wrap this up and get out of here. Any final thoughts?
No, that's it. Just processing this, trying to figure it all out. So
no, you're awesome. I know the processing never ends. Every night is something new.
Yes, sir.
Chris, you're awesome, brother. Oh, look at this guy. He's been MIA for a week, and he comes out of nowhere.
Stay at home, son.
Our stay-at-home son, Shardal. How you doing, buddy?
I'm a big fan of.
Where have you been, first of all?
I went to the Sharks game yesterday. I was coming back, and I came late, and you were about to end the show, and I came too late.
And look, I'm kidding, obviously, because you did give me a heads up that you were going to miss a couple shows. So how was the Sharks game? Was that fun?
The Sharks game was fun. We lost.
So it was fun despite the loss?
Despite the loss. It was so fun.
So is Macklin Celebrini just not there yet in terms of being an all-time great? Is he slowly getting there?
No, Macklin Celebrini is going to reach up there with the greats of Connor McDavid, and,
Is he going to be Mario Lemieux? Is he going to be like that level?
He's going to be like Mario Lemieux.
Like a Brett Hull?
Like a Brett Hull.
Good. Like a Jaromir Jagr?
Yeah, like a Jaromir Jagr.
Good. That's encouraging. So it's just not there yet, but it's in the process.
Not there, but it's slowly getting there.
I can't wait.
Step by step, you get there.
I can't wait. What did you think about the game tonight, Shardal?
Hi, Sai. I'm a big fan of your YouTube channel. You make some great content videos on the platform. As the Golden State Warriors take down the Orlando Magic 120-97 from Chase Center in San Francisco, California. And the trio consisting of Jimmy Butler, Moses Moody, and Stephen Curry combined for 67 points together. And secondly, what were your top 5 takeaways from the win tonight over the Orlando Magic?
There's only one. Well, two takeaways. One, Moses Moody was fantastic, and 2, I want to flip this back on you because we haven't heard your thoughts yet on Draymond Green just saying "F this," getting up and leaving.
I mean, like, Draymond Green has temper tantrums. Like, he throws tantrums on the court sometimes, but I get it because, like, he's upset with Steve Kerr, and he's going to do whatever to rebel against Steve Kerr. That's what he's going to do. Because he does get angry on the court sometimes. You could see that his anger tolerance can get a little bit. Sometimes he can land himself in hot water with the things that he does on the court.
Did you watch any of the Warriors game, or were you entirely focused on the Niners tonight?
I was entirely focused on the Niners tonight.
I don't blame you. Well, old man Rivers looked good.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers looked good tonight. He looked good.
Not as good as Brock Purdy, but he looked good.
Brock Purdy took over. So CMC set a record tonight.
What was the record?
He has over 1,000 rushing yards for CMC.
That's not a record. I mean, all sorts of people.
He just did it tonight.
Why do you say that's a record? 1,000 yards rushing, that's done like every year. What's the record?
No, it's not a record, but he did it tonight. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say he did. He was so close to doing it. Like, he was 922, and he got 117 rushing yards today.
Boris Schusterman dropping $1.99 in our chat. Thank you, sir. Saying Kuminga staying put. That'll shock the Steve Kerr apologist. Do you want Kuminga to stay or do you want him to get traded, Shardol?
I do not want Kuminga to leave because I like him on the Warriors.
He's a good dude.
I do not want him to leave.
I don't want him to leave either.
It'll be very heartbreaking if he leaves and goes to another franchise.
I feel you on that.
Plays for that franchise.
You want to do the scoreboard with me?
So I'm going to be attending the Warriors and Mavericks Christmas Day game. I'm going to be at Chase Center for that game.
Good.
My mother's going to buy me tickets for Christmas because I really want Warriors tickets for as a Christmas present. So she's going to buy it for me. I don't know which section I'm going to be sitting in at the game. Probably the upper level. Because the lower level can be really expensive.
It can.
It's like $100. It's like $100 for the lower level. Even the upper level can be pretty expensive too.
It can too. You're absolutely right. It is not
the upper level and lower level Warriors, but if you if you want to go on Christmas Day, then it's worth it. And the giveaway is pretty cool. Like, did you see what the giveaway is for the game?
No.
It's a Christmas Day scarf.
What?
It's a scarf, a Christmas Day scarf.
Okay, all right, I like that, like a blue and gold scarf.
I really want to get that.
Hey, I hope you do. Val in our chat has a question for you, Shardol. Val is asking, when are you going to introduce our audience to Taylor Rooks? I didn't know you were friends with Taylor Rooks. That's impressive, Shardol.
I'm friends with Taylor Rooks.
Bravo. Are you? How did you meet her?
Probably on social media.
Gotcha. Love it. All right. Well, introduce us. I'm sure.
I'll introduce you to her sometime.
Let's go around the scoreboard. You ready, Shardol?
Let's go over the scoreboard. Let's wrap up the show for the night.
Beautiful. How many subscribers are you at right now?
I'm at 512 subscribers. I'm 88 subs away from 600.
Bro, dude, that deserves an applause. Audience, put your hands together for Shardol. I mean, that's impressive. Yes, sir. And Shardol, I have one message, only one brief, simple message for the people who won't subscribe to your channel. Do you know what that is?
Fuck you. Those are the haters who are not subscribing to my YouTube channel.
All right, let's go through the scoreboard.
Let's go over the scoreboard. Let's go over all. There's a lot of great games we're going to be going over today. I'm excited to go over each game one by one. I'm excited to close out the show.
Me too, because sometimes you find some cool nuggets to pull from each of these games around the NBA. We start with the Cleveland Cavaliers winning at home 139-132 over the Charlotte Hornets, a team the Warriors will play in Charlotte on New Year's Eve, interestingly enough. So the Curry family gets to celebrate at home the new year. Cleveland improves to 16-14. Charlotte drops to 9-20. Darius Garland, 27 points, 10 assists in the win. LaMelo Ball, 23 points, 9 assists in the loss. Maybe most noteworthy, going back to Darius Garland, there's some guy, I forgot his name, but he's based in Dallas, and he just throws all this crazy information out there about the NBA, pretending like he's some source. It's comedy, but he sounds so serious, people believe him, and who knows if what he's saying is true or not. It's like Grant Merrick or something Merrick, I think is the guy's name. Anyways, I bring him up, this random guy on Twitter who's based in Dallas, because he's reporting that the Sacramento Kings are interested in trading for Darius Garland. And you know what my reaction to that is, Shardol?
Oh my God, that is funny!
The Kings are funny, right?
Yeah, the Kings are a clown show.
Riot. Like you're gonna get Darius Garland. Get the F out of here, man. Okay, stop. Anyways, so
Sacramento Kings, get the F out of your Sacramento Kings. You're the worst team in the NBA. Vivek Ranadive should get fired. Actually, I don't like Vivek Ranadive. Get that guy out of the Kings organization. I don't like that guy, actually. I have intense dislike against that guy. He's ruining the team.
Yeah, a lot of people call him the worst owner in the NBA. He meddles. He's a meddler. He's like the Steve Kerr of owners.
He's trying to ruin this team. So if anybody likes that guy, there's something wrong with you because nobody should like that guy. He's the worst owner. Worst owner ever.
He's not a good owner. This is crazy. The Boston Celtics are now 18-11. They win tonight 103-95 over the Indiana Pacers in I forgot the name of the arena, something Garden. But Boston was home. They improved to 18-11 again. The Pacers dropped to 6-23. Jaylen Brown, an MVP candidate, 31 points, 9 rebounds in the win. Pascal Siakam, 25.6 rebounds in the loss. And when you look at the standings chart, a Boston Celtics team that many wondered whether they were going to just roll over and play for a pick and regroup for next year. Well, right now they're 5 games back of the top seed Detroit Pistons. So Boston is not rolling over. What are your thoughts, if any? Elsewhere in the association, the Dallas Mavericks, the Warriors' next opponent. I saw a few people in the chat asking, what's your prediction for Warriors Dallas Thursday? I have no clue. The Warriors are literally the most unpredictable team I've ever seen in my life. Klay Thompson is coming in town. I think if there's anything safe in terms of predictions, it would be to bet on Dallas plus 7.5. But even that, I'm not feeling good about. Yeah, sure. What's up?
Can you repeat that? I was on mute. Can you repeat that question again?
There's no question. There's no question. We're rolling. So the New Orleans Pelicans have won 5 games in a row. Zion Williamson is accepting a role as the team's 6th man, and he's thriving in it. The Pelicans tonight beat the Dallas Mavericks 119-113. They improved to 8-22. Dallas drops to 11-19. Zion, 24 points, 9 rebounds in the win. Anthony Davis, 35 points, 17 rebounds in the loss. And again, Dallas has talent on that squad. I know they lost tonight.
So when Klay Thompson's coming back to the Warriors to return to the Bay Area, they did a Captain Klay giveaway, a Captain Klay captain hat, a Captain Klay
hat
giveaway last year when the Warriors came to play the Mavericks. I believe it was the NBA Cup, and then they're not doing that this year. But like this is his only time that he's returning to the Bay Area, and then after that he goes back to Dallas. So they have to do something special for Klay, maybe a tribute video.
They already did that. That's all done. The tribute happened. It's over. Now it's just going to be. I'm sure it'll be a warm welcome, but I don't know if
can't they do another tribute video?
They could. I don't know if they will. What did the Pelicans? This is the bad news about New Orleans suddenly winning games. If they flip the script on the season, because we're 30 games in, there's enough time where you can still make a run and at least compete for a play-in. They're not trading their top assets, and I feel like the Pelicans are one of these teams that are routinely targeted for trades. I don't know. Well, as long as they keep winning, and Chardal, this is what the Warriors have to deal with when Dallas comes into town Thursday night. Anthony Davis, PJ Washington, Najee Marshall, who's not even that good, but he's going to be a big compared to the Warriors. Cooper Flag. I like. So
I used the NBA trade machine, the one that used to like trade players and everything like that. And I traded Giannis to the Warriors and Steph Curry to the Bucks. The trade was successful.
You traded Steph
because I want Giannis to be on the Warriors,
even if it's for Steph.
I'm okay.
I love you. Elsewhere in the association, the Denver Nuggets improving.
Do I bring comedy to the show?
Yes, you do. 21-7 is the Nuggets record now. They took care of the Jazz tonight at home, 135-112 in the battle of the Rocky Mountain teams. The Nuggets led by Nikola Jokic, triple-double, 14 points, 13 rebounds, 13 assists. Yusuf Nurkic of the Jazz, 17 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists in the loss. Again, Denver now 21-7. The Jazz dropped to 10-18. 2 more games. We're almost there, Snowball.
So for me, so Nikola Jokic, that man always has to come into every building and create damage. Like I don't understand what that guy has with the NBA. Every arena that he comes into, he has to take down that team somehow brutally, beat that team to the ground, burn that team to the ground, do that thing like that. That's why I don't like Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, he's tough.
I don't
He's
like him. I bet you don't like him too. You're a Warriors fan. I bet you don't like Nikola Jokic.
I mean, I don't hate him personally, but I don't like when the Warriors face him. Yeah, it's not fun.
He's a disgrace.
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but he's annoying. He's annoying. I'll give you that. The OKC Thunder, who lost to Minnesota, I forgot about that. The T-Wolves beat them a night or two ago. Well, they bounced back, 119-103 winners tonight over the Memphis Grizzlies, who have been fighting with the Warriors for the 8th seed. So that helped the Warriors out. OKC improves to 26-3. Memphis drops to 13-16. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, 31 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists in the win. Cedric Howard, the rookie, I believe Bay Area native, who's been killing it for Memphis, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists in the loss.
So the OKC Thunder, I'm so glad their winning streak is over, because they were just winning and winning. They were just like an unstoppable team. SGA was just absolutely killing the Warriors every time, whichever team the OKC Thunder play. I'm so glad the winning streak's over, man. Like, I was waiting for that streak to get snapped, man. Like, because I that's why whenever people look at my YouTube name, it's not related to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. It's not. There's no relation to SGA at all from the Thunder. There's no relation. If you think there's a relation, then that's wrong, because I have no relation. I don't like SGA, so no relation. He's a free throw merchant.
I was wondering why you cared.
No, SGA the free throw merchant.
Last but not least,
I hate SGA. Why does he have to be a free throw merchant?
I mean, you could spin it.
Let me say something to SGA.
Please.
Fuck SGA. I hate that fucking asshole.
But Shardol, what if for like a week?
I hate SGA.
I'm thinking about marketing your channel. What if for like a week you just pretended your channel was the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander channel, just to see if you get more subs? Might be a worthy experiment. I don't know.
No, I'm not gonna get it. No, I'm not gonna get any subscribers because, like I said, my YouTube channel has no relation to SGA. So everybody's asking, what does your channel mean? I'm like, my channel means it's related to the three legends on the Warriors: Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Iguodala. My three favorite players on the Warriors.
Shardol, Julian Bashir in our chat's asking, Shardol, what is the SGA?
I told you. How many times you make me repeat myself over and over again? S stands for Stephen Curry, G stands for Draymond Green, and A stands for Andre Iguodala. Stop asking me again. I'm not going to say it again. You're getting me mad. I'll probably smack you in the mouth, Julian Bashir. I'll smack Julian Bashir in the mouth, knock some teeth out. You want me to knock your teeth out, Julian? Stop asking me that. You people have asked me that over and over and over again. I'm getting sick and tired of that question.
Okay, one last game.
No, dude, I will punch somebody. I will punch somebody.
All right, it's not worth it. And the Detroit Pistons.
That's where the comedy comes into picture.
Well, because you keep it real. That's it, and it's
I keep it 100 on every time it comes.
Not enough authenticity in this world. Detroit 110-102 winners over the Portland Trailblazers. The Pistons now 22-6, top in the East. Portland drops to 12-16. Jalen Duren 26 points, 10 rebounds in the win. Donovan Clingan 17 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks in the loss. That is your scoreboard. That is your show. SGA Sports. I'm telling you, Chardon, just for a week, just make your channel about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Put like an image of him and just see if it works. Because you never know. You might suddenly get like 3,000 subs from OKC fans thinking that your channel is all about Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And then you can surprise them all and be like, F no, and get all fired up and reveal that it's really about Bay Area teams. But
the final score: Golden State Warriors 120, Orlando Magic 97. Warriors are on a 2-game winning streak. Warriors are going to keep this winning streak alive. I'm going to be at the Warriors and Mavericks game on Christmas Day. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Enjoy it with your family. Get all the presents. Get a tree. Get all the presents that you want for Christmas.
And Shardol, let people know Rick Barry's coming on tomorrow at 2 p.m.
Rick Barry is going to be coming on at 2 p.m. tomorrow, so tune in for that show. That's going to be a fire episode. Anytime Rick Barry comes on, it's always fire. I love that guy coming on the show.
I love them too, man.
So
Say
viewers,
goodbye to everybody.
so viewers, make sure to subscribe to the Golden Days in reference to the 1993 Matthew McConaughey movie Dazed and Confused, and also subscribe to the SGA Sports Talk channel. I'm at 512 subscribers. I'm just 88 subs away from 600. So if you like my content, I put a video every single day. So if you don't want to miss out on every video I have on the channel, please go there and click that like button, smash that subscribe button, ring that notification bell for all my wonderful content on the channel. But I'm a big fan of you. I love coming on. The show every time. I mean, you have such a great sense of humor. I'll definitely see you after. I'll definitely see you for the post game show after the Mavericks and Warriors and Mavericks game on Christmas Day.
Great. We'll see you Christmas.
I'll see you on Christmas. Have a good Christmas. Have a good New Year. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you in 2026. Hopefully, it's gonna be a good year. I'm gonna be in Vegas for New Year's Eve.
Beautiful. Happy holiday. Bye.